Edges lay, hoop swing, lip gloss and a laugh. I walking like Sunday, but I've been through some wrath. They see soft, see sweet, figure I'm easy to bend. They don't see me in the mirror trying to hold my own hand. Don't let my smile fool you. I've been breaking in the
yesterday who's just in this political. She has a site on Facebook that is for political purposes. That's why she's here. She literally asked this question. I think it went something like this. Why would you need a two-door vehicle and a four-door? Why not get only two two-doors and only two four-doors? Is that a serious question? No, and neither were the other ones. But it's designed because someone has someone come to do that. And you know it. You know it. That's going to happen more and more. We have to be able to separate our discussions into the serious. And that's why I know Cynthia's probably at school, so she couldn't have been here, but that's what I wanted to say to her is, I'm going to do better to make sure that I'm empowering this council who is doing a great job in a tough time. I'm going to do the best I can, dead level, to make sure you're successful. All members are successful in what they need for their districts and what to do. And I appreciated the budget period. I thought every member of the council was
All right. Welcome to tonight's episode You're going to want to watch this one, just like you watched last night. Shout out to damn near 1,000 people that sat there for 3 hours with us. Right? Share this out. Share this out. Share this out. I want the message. Hold on, let me make sure. Okay. I want this message to make it all the way to where we were sending those complaints. And it's been a while since we sent some complaints. Right? Y'all remember that show, Send Out Complaints? That was a great time. That was a great era. I promise you that was the best era that I've had doing this podcast and stuff, because it was so many moving parts to it, and it was so many reasons to love what we were doing. And I remember I sent the last complaint. And the last complaint that I sent to 625 Murray Street was about your utilities, right? That was the main complaint I sent. So I'm going to give people a couple minutes to get in, get settled, catch a couple of clips of these videos, and then we're going to get to the meat and potatoes of tonight's show. Jock's been at war with the black community. And I think, again, Jock, it's reached its tipping point. And there are people completely dedicated with intentions on making you pay for all the dirty shit you've done to black folks. And if it takes somebody getting into this race to completely, for no other reason but to expose you, you might want to watch out for that while you out there recruiting coloreds to run against you. You might want to double check and see if those coloreds ain't coming to double cross you. You know who I'm talking about too, Jock. It happens all the time. You think you got a friend, and the next thing you know, right in the back. Speaking of,
if you stick a knife in my back 9 inches and pull it out 6 inches, there's no progress. If you pull it all the way out, that's not progress. The progress is healing the wound that the blow made. And they haven't even begun to pull the knife out, much less try and heal the wound. They won't even admit the knife is there.
Negro leaders have fought for civil rights.
What do you mean
They
by
have
fought?
begged for civil rights. They have begged the white man for civil rights. They have begged the white man for freedom. And anytime you beg another man to set you free, you will never be free. Freedom is something that you have to do for yourselves. And until the American Negro lets the white man know that we are really, really ready and willing to pay the price that is necessary for freedom, our people will always be walking around here second-class citizens, or what you call 20th century slaves.
All their heroes have been white. They make you bow down to George Washington as your hero. Did they ever tell you that Hokie owned slaves? Did he ever tell you that? Yeah. Not only did he own slaves, he sold a black woman for a barrel of molasses, and he's supposed to be our hero. Our hero. Yeah.
They'll get a person who's willing to sell everybody out, who's black. And they were like, okay, we see this Negro. He's going to be useful. Let's get him, and we'll get him to run around talking about black on black crime and black folks don't need reparations. We'll get him to be our mouthpiece. And after the damage is done, we're going to destroy his career. Because they understand a tool like that can't be trusted. If he'll sell his own people out, why would I bring him in my house? That's the thing that black folks don't understand.
That's game.
There has never been a retirement plan for coons. Yeah.
hold on.
Hello, what time are you going live?
We already are.
Well, what time you starting the show?
Like 9 minutes ago. 10 minutes ago, exactly. Yeah, we were just about to get into the meat and potatoes of of what the show is about tonight. But somehow looks like we're being bottlenecked. Somehow we're stuck on one viewer. Oh, now we got no viewers. Isn't that funny? So if you
It's
guys
probably
aren't,
just the signal and everything. You never know.
let me tell you something. Back in the old days, what
Yo,
they would do is they would report our page to the point where we wouldn't show up in people's timeline where we would normally be when we would normally go live, right? And it's what is that called? It's called shadow band. So
gotcha.
after last night, now mind you, last night the numbers, right? I don't care what nobody says. For us to be doing what we're doing, from where we're doing it and how we're doing it, to get 500-600 people watching your content about politics about a local city that only the people that are watching it know about. To get those kind of numbers, you're upwards of on the upside of 1,000, on the downside of 1,000 in one day. And it's not no I'm sleeping with this person or that person. There's not no mess. It's literal politics that we're asking you to get engaged in, local politics. To do those kind of numbers on a regular basis, this ain't just no one-off, on a regular basis is a feather in our cap. I don't care what nobody says. Because to sit and listen to anything for more than 15, 20 minutes in this day and age is a wonder. But to sit here and to be engaged the entire time is great. I'm with that. I thank everybody that comes and watches everything that we do. I really do appreciate y'all. I know a lot of our normal viewers ain't here because they wasn't sure if we was going live tonight anyway. But we are live. Spread the words. Send out the links. I did as much as I could, but share the link. We are live. I know people are going to watch us later on. That's cool too. But let me go ahead and get started. Right. So let me run this clip back.
Look, folks who want to be against you because it's political season, there's no answer you can give them. So there was a young lady who spoke yesterday who's just in this political. She has a site on Facebook that is for political purposes. That's why she's here. She literally asked this question. I think it went something like this. Why would you need a two-door vehicle and a four-door? Why not get only two two-doors and only two four-doors? Is that a serious question?
Tavares, I can't hear that.
Neither were the other ones, but it's designed.
You got to
so
click the
someone
button
has
that says
someone
click for
come to
sound.
speak. And you know it. You know it. That's going to happen more and more. We have to be able to separate our discussions into the serious. And that.
So I want to wade in the weeds of semantics.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Your mama said she couldn't hear us. Mr. Leader, can you hear us?
She needs to leave out and come back in. She got to go out and come back in.
So where did she come back then? So you can understand my
Come back
question,
in.
right?
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I couldn't hear that. That's all I was saying.
I was just saying, I wanted to know if I explained it, right, because in my head I explained it right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh
why
no,
can't we
listen,
have two of one?
listen.
All right.
The explanation you were asking was the price difference. What was the point? Why do we need one or the other? To which the council doesn't answer questions anyway. So I don't know why the fuck Jock even had that on his mind to say. Listen,
He
Jock,
wasn't even there. Well, never mind.
for somebody that wasn't there, right? But has so much to say, right? You had that whole page of shit to write, right, Jock? Jock, somebody, let me tell you something. Jock, if you're looking to pick a coon to run against you, I would not trust that coon. That coon might turn on you. If you're looking to get somebody to run against you, to look like a fool, you better be careful because they can definitely make you look like an idiot. They can. Jock, because you put yourself in a pinch. You put yourself in the pinch. And to everybody that's in the comment, hey everybody, hold on, let me get y'all on here, right? So that's right, Mr. Banheim. He's trying to get the council to make sure to put a tamp on it. Why do you think he chose Cynthia Perry as the president? Why do you think? And listen. Whatever Jock tells Felter, Chuck, and Jim, they will do. Additionally, whatever Jock tells Gary Johnson, he will do. Additionally, whatever Jock demands of Cynthia Perry, she will bow down and kiss the ring. No problem. So who else would you pick to be the president? I'm sorry, the two-time president. Why would you pick somebody else? They already are telling people what they can and can't say. You know, if this was a city council meeting where people were allowed to speak their mind on the issues without being tone policed or word policed or point policed,
it's not even worth going to. If you sitting, it's like jail.
that's what
You
they're
know, if
trying
you
to
just
fix it up.
sitting there and listening, you can't ask questions, you can't raise your hand. There's no point of sitting there. You might as well just went on Facebook Live and went live from your office. To be honest with you.
Well, these mayor's briefings are places where he can cry and whine and kick and moan and bitch and scream and make
And
all
the whole gallery was full of his people. That worked for him. If you
Jock.
look at it.
At the end of the day, Jock, you're worried. You're concerned. You've never been in this situation.
Oh yeah, and C. Ray Lewis. I'm sorry, I'm eating my wings, but and C. Ray Lewis was there too. See, he don't be there if the mayor ain't there. He ain't there. And I'm starting to notice that. And C. Ray Lewis, you might as well come out and say. You might as well come out and say that you work for the mayor. What
Oh no,
else can you lose?
listen. You already ahead of us. Because guess what I found?
I'm sorry.
I found this. Oh yeah, champs. Get ready. We're going there tonight. Hold on, let me share my screen. We're only going there because Jock wanted to go there. But since we're here, let's go together.
Oh, but also YSKT is a news and media page. Thank you.
Not a political page. Right? Just because they keep you and then what's even more
informed on everything.
I bet you if YSKT was advertising for that funky ass fet, you wouldn't have shit to say about it.
Right.
But because, and see, Mr. Manheim brought up something too. He just said, if you're speaking out against something he's saying, then it's political. Anything, yeah. When he says the comments are political, he really means they're a voice in opposition to me. Dirk, that's exactly what he's doing. I'm pretty sure they're required to be there. Hey. The mayor announced Dr. Lewis as his public ambassador for Reignite.
Well, there it is. Well,
you know, the only reason he did that is because we pulled the card.
Yeah, we had already pulled his card.
We pulled his card.
We pulled his card.
And listen, Curtis, you still a bitch. I don't give a fuck who you work for. And now you're even more of a bitch in my book. But that's okay.
Why lie though? When people asked y'all, were you working for the mayor and were you getting paid by the mayor? Why you made all on Facebook posts lying though? What's to lie about? You a grown man.
Let me show you.
You don't have nothing to lie about.
No, let me show you something. They'll get shame. It's a certain shame in what he's doing. That's why he can't say it.
They'll get a person who's willing to sell everybody out, who's black. And they were like, okay, we see this Negro. He's going to be useful. Let's get him, and we'll get him to run around talking about black on black crime and black folks don't need reparations. We'll get him to be our mouthpiece. And after the damage is done, we're going to destroy his career. Because they understand a tool like that can't be trusted. If he'll sell his own people out, why would I bring him in my house? That's the thing that black folks don't understand.
That's game.
There has never been a retirement plan for coons. Yeah.
that, Curtis? There ain't no retirement plan.
You see what Miss Tamara said that Tavares about to be a whole post tomorrow, probably
And you know
tonight.
what? Let me tell you something.
Matter of fact, send him an invite. Forget it, send him an invite.
Listen,
Get him to tell him.
the problem is, Miss Tamara, is I will go there with him. That's why he doesn't respond to what I'm saying now.
Oh yeah, he don't respond at all to Tavares.
He's not going to make me a post. He's too afraid. See, now he's wrapped up with Jock, right? And when it comes to dealing with Jock, dealing with Universal Collective Network and the Can We Be Frank show, it's definitely hands off. He definitely goes the extra mile to avoid us. But what he didn't know is Miss Shamir is one of us too. So you picked the fight with her. You tried to discount what she was saying. Hey, listen, man, you don't know. You have no idea what I'm willing to do to get you unseated.
That sounds like a threat. Oh my goodness, I'm a little scared.
No, he said he has no idea the amount of information, the mountains and mountains of information I'm willing to put out to make sure that you never get elected to anything else ever again. That you're going to need the business community. You might as well be the next president of the Chamber of Commerce.
Might as well.
Because that's as close as you're going to get to any political seat. And I don't care what Pan American engineering. I don't care, because the truth, you can't buy the truth. And only thing you can buy is Negroes like Curtis. That's what you're used to doing anyway. The truth is going to come out, Jock. And the truth, see, the real reason why Jock don't want to tangle with Gator is because if he takes Gator to court, Gator can countersue. And then there's this thing in the legal proceeding called discovery, where Gator has access to go through any and every record pertaining to Gator and Jock Roy in the city of Alexandria. And then we get to find out where that back end money goes when he gets collecting off of the feds. We get to find out exactly how much he's been and how he's been robbing them. Because if you're taking money for the feds after the feds were paid, what are you doing with the money that you're taking from the feds? Somebody's stealing something, right? And then let's not talk about the class action lawsuit that if the right person got on, and I'm not talking about Thomas Davenport, and no offense to you, sir, I know you got your problem solved. But if we got together and did a class action lawsuit against the city of Alexandria's utilities and sued them for the restore, well, if we just started the lawsuit, we could go ahead and start with the discovery. See, discovery is a cold part of a case. Discovery will lead to settlements quicker than a mug. And on top of everything else, I've been noticing that the city of Alexandria has been settling a lot out of court lately. Has anybody else noticed that? They've been settling out of court a lot.
Yeah, they haven't. Yeah.
So, like I said, Alexandria, we can do two things. We cannot tell y'all what's going on, and y'all can let it continue, or we can say what's happening here in your face where you can't ignore it, and we can speak truth to power. And Jock really thinks he's in control. He believes it in his brain that he is the one, he's the puppet master. You forgot you're a servant first. You're a servant first. So we're going to remind you, right? Because if you don't value your position, it can be taken away from you, and you obviously don't value your position. You made an enemy. Let's make an enemies list of all the people Jock's had a problem with. Ms. Renardo, Steve McGee. Let's see. Malcolm, Jules, Mr. Fuller, rest in peace, Mr. Porter. Who else?
Anybody that's against him, literally. And it's not that many people. It's not that many people. Yeah.
It's black folks. He got a problem with.
Yeah.
And you can't make it look any other way than what it looks like. And that little letter he wrote out yesterday spelled it all out in complete sentences. He has an issue with black people. And us, of course, you can't stand Miss Alita. Now you can't stand Miss Shamir. You definitely can't stand that. And I know you don't like me. But that's cool because I never gave a fuck. But that's a whole different story. At the end of the day, Jock, you can't stand intellectual black people. That intimidates you. It scares the shit out of you because you don't know what they know. The only black people you love are Larry Turner, Jonathan Goins, and Michael Caffrey. You used Reddix. You used Roosevelt for years. Now you're using Gary Johnson. But that sock puppet is stiff now. You're done with it. You're done with it. You tried to put a black guy on your ballot. Like we're gonna really, oh, wait a minute. He's got Gary Johnson on here. Everybody that's black, let's go vote for Johnson. Hell, fuck no. No. That's why Gary Johnson's the vice president. Jock made the order. He set all the things in place. The only two solid councilmen you got up there is Malcolm and Jules. Everybody else can be bought or has been bought. Everybody else up there has been bought. Jock, you want to talk about politics? Are you saying that the general public shouldn't have a say in politics? Is that what you're saying? Are you saying these divisive things are only divisive because they don't roll with your boat? Because your boat is full of shit? Is that what you're saying? Oh, he doesn't like Jack and he damn sure doesn't like Stephen Sharp. You know, I ain't saying they're intellectual, but they're colored. They're black. So it seems like the only black people you like are the ones that you can control. And once they get out of your control, you see the way he did Bennett Rowland. He tried to handle that man bad in front of outside that one day in that interview.
Now all of a sudden he back at work, right?
Is he back at work?
That's what they created an article that he made a video or whatever. I think he back at work now.
I know Bennett ain't going. Oh, no, Lisa Harris. Boss Hog on that Dixie. Listen, he's probably watching from Wendy's page. He probably is. Jock. He and his buddies got to go. Jock, come on, man.
And then how you gonna speak on somebody when you know and I'm not even there? Like you always speaking on people that's not in the building that can't speak up for themselves. That's throwing a rock and hiding your hands.
Of so much power, yet they're not doing nothing nothing good with it if it don't concern good or events and alcohol. You damn right. He has the arrogance about him, like he could care less about how he is perceived, as if he just knows regardless of what happens, he's getting back in. You got to take that. He'll be back on Friday. Hell no. Hell no. That's because he knows, because the people have to care. And so that's exactly that leads to my next point. You don't like black people that care about the black community. You like black people that don't care about the black community. You loved Reddix. You even put Reddix on the back. I mean, you endorsed Reddix. Matter of fact, since we want to talk about failures, let's talk about that failure. Remember when Reddix was running against Malcolm and you endorsed him and he still lost? That should have been that should have been a sign right there that your word don't mean shit to black people. But you want to wipe that away. You want to talk about how Mr. Porter and how Miss Catherine Davidson they were voted out. So obviously nobody agrees with them. But you were agreeing with Reddix and they voted him out. What does that say about you? You had Reddix, you was walking Reddix around like a dachshund at a dog show. This is my colored one. I got him on a leash. Look, I can even take the leash off. Watch, he'll stay right by my side. And he did that. And now Gary is the new Reddix. You know, black people who care are the voice for the voiceless. So they use the voiceless people against the people who God sent to be the voice and lead. You damn right. We need more people to spread the word so we can get him out of office. It's already in It's already in progress. He ain't shit. Look, y'all. You see how I pulled a net and I prayed for more numbers, and look how they came in. Thank y'all for joining us. Make sure you interact and like and comment and share, whatever makes you feel clever. If you're watching us on YouTube, go ahead and hit the like button and share this, because I want the word to get out. We have a larger viewership than the city of Alexandria. Matter of fact, people wouldn't even watch the city of Alexandria's YouTube page if it wasn't for us. They got 33 views off that little stinking ass city council meeting they did yesterday. We did 600 overnight. That was just overnight. We did seven something early this morning. So we're getting them the attention that they need. Send them on vacation to sip cocktails with his buddies, Ruben, Villard, Felter, and Johnson. You damn right. You damn right. And now that I've bloviated 32 minutes away, let's go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes of this. I'm not going to do a lot of pausing. We've already covered majority of this bullshit. Oh, and by the way, Jock did take a page out of the notebook last night because remember that part of the ordinance, part of the agenda items that I read where it was given the pros and cons and what Alexandria is and this, that, and the third?
Yeah.
Guess who wrote that?
Grok.
Curtis. Curtis wrote that shit. That's why. Listen, Jock strategically picked Curtis because he knows that he wasn't going to get any of that reignite money from the black folks. So he sent Curtis. Curtis convinced him that he could convince the black people of something. And Curtis really came out the gates thinking that he was swinging. He was, I'm going to go against I'm going to talk shit to Malcolm. I'm going to do the bidding of the mayor. Yeah. Look, we forced the mayor to give you a title. You're welcome. I don't give a fuck if it's unpaid. He wasn't even calling you his girlfriend. Now, at least you got a title now. You was just a side piece the other week. Now, at least you got a title. I'm just saying, Larry Turner would love to be in your position. He probably already has been, though. I ain't gonna lie.
And so, good afternoon.
Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
All righty. I'm sorry. I don't mind sitting. Don't unwrap. I'll sit.
Okay. Saves me the trouble.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Darren, I'm switching.
I was expecting you to sit. Well, next time.
All right. Thank you. Good afternoon again. We've got a few items to cover on the agenda. Getting them a little set up. So out before you right now is the Masonic Drive corridor that I wanted everybody to be able to see, and media wishes to take any pictures of and look at. It's more in the rendition of sort of what is today. There may be a little bit of what can be, but it would give people a good idea of what is. I think it's also interesting, while the scale, what's interesting is the scale of the mall. So I would ask you to take note of just how large a a structure it is when you compare it to all of those other structures, which some of them are large. But I would remind everybody, I think that's all scaled, right? As to the size in all of the different parcels, but the heights are not scaled. So the height is not scaled, but width and everything else, how it holds in the footprint is scaled. So you'll notice Weiss and Goldring across from there looks tall, when of course it's not a tall building. So the first thing is on May 12th, we're having an open house at the mall for Reignite. And so we invite citizens and anyone to go. You'll have 3 to 7 p.m. to walk through, to look at all of the things they'll have set up, to make your own community notes, which you'd want to see, what kind of projects you'd like to be there, leave your comments, thoughts, etc. And that will be on May the 12th, Tuesday.
So he wants you to go to the mall at the, and best believe it's going to be a photo op. Best believe you're going to end up in a picture on his campaign. You're going to do that. It's going to happen if you go out.
Did you pause it?
I did. Can you hear me? Hello? Oh, they can't hear me now.
I can hear you.
Tell her, okay. Shamir, can you hear me?
It might be Shamir. Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. You know, we got bad weather come through here.
Oh, and by the way, guys, through this meeting, you'll hear the thunder start. You'll hear. Oh, okay, she didn't even come back. You'll hear the thunder start, right? So while he's in these council chambers, lying to the people, Alexandria's flooding actively.
May the 12th, Tuesday, from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Alexandria Mall. So this is the Reignite program for the Masonic Drive corridor. And the question is, what's your vision? And so while we'll have a lot to suggest and we'll have more as things go out, this is an opportunity also for citizens to just weigh in, share any ideas for that future development. It's the whole of the corridor. It doesn't have to be limited to the mall at all. We'll talk a little bit more about that, but this is an open house and we would welcome any feedback, questions.
Hey, real quick, I'm sorry. Let me stop.
And be part of shape.
I have something to say real quick, just real quick. Okay, now I want you guys to understand this. He had already put plans in place. If you would have watched his other briefing, which we showed on here, he had already said what he was going to do with that area already. So why are you coming back and asking the people, you're going to put a big display in the mall to go through and look when you had already made plans? You already said what you were going to do with it. You said you're going to turn half of it. You're going to redo the Bringhurst field. You're going to bring in pickleball. You said you're going to turn in those buildings down there on that corridor into medical buildings. If I'm not mistaken, that's what you said. And then in the mall, you were talking about putting the children's museum and more stuff. So you already planned on what you were going to do with it. So why would our suggestions have anything to do with it when you already planned? You already said what you were going to do with it.
Does anybody remember when they had those kiosks in the mall where you could walk up to it and share your ideas? And they had them all around it. They had them stationed all around the city. You remember those? And you could just walk up to it and you could fill out the little application and make the suggestions. Yeah, he did that before. He's all this has been done before. And he has a plan. He has a plan to where he's 12 months out away from election. That's when you start seeing this flurry of activity, right? You start seeing this these big grandiose ideas, right? That never, ever come to fruition.
You had 16 years. Why now? That's my only question. Why now?
That mall's been dead way before Jeff got elected. Way before that mall's been dead for at least 12 years, 13 years, 14 years now. Right? Once Sabaro's left, Once the pizza place leaves out of your mall, it's just a matter of time because pizza is a mall staple. Now, if the pizza
Nah, you really know once Auntie Annie's gone.
once Auntie Annie's gone, oh, Auntie Anne's is gone. I used to work there too.
No, it's still there. I say once it's gone, you might as well wrap it up.
Yep. But he's done all this before, and I don't want to get bogged down because I don't want this show
He
to
didn't
be
already spent the money though, so I mean, the money already spent.
That's what, and that's what all this effort and stuff looks like. This effort looks like a cover, right? Because it's something that you already spent money on, and you need to have something to show for it. And now that your back is against the wall and people are making you be accountable and holding you accountable, you have to do this flurry of bullshit activity.
Man, I
Now,
ain't never seen nothing get constructed so fast, bro. Like all the stuff that they had been complaining about on the council, he done took that money and started building stuff for his Reignite project. This man has so many projects since he's been on
you
the
got
council.
Mansion,
I mean, he got so many, y'all, that he ain't been completed. It's just there to just it's not
halfway ass good.
exactly. It's all nine. He got so many programs. It don't make no sense. Now we got Reignite. Y'all gotta stay away from them programs that start with the letter R. I'm telling you.
If it reach something,
Re what? Restore.
rehash, reuse, recycle.
Roy.
Shaping this vibrant and great future opportunity for that corridor. All right, so a little bit to cover today. We'll talk about a few different things that have occurred, but we'll try to stick with, it's going to be a lot about the Reignite plan. So the first thing is that I think in February or January, I gave some indicators about the state of economic indicators in the city using local data. We gave several different ways to look at it, from building permits to new buildings coming up, the types of buildings you'll see, growth in the corridor out on 28, those kinds of things. I would just again suggest that two indicators by two businesses that hold a whole lot of public retirements, it turns out, in our area are having really, really great years, the last couple. And in fact, I think last year for one was their banner year for the existence of this company. And so that's a really good sign. I would also say that the types of development you'll see from the DBAT, from our batting cages out there, I see that there's the opportunity for indoor golf, all of those things that you're seeing are.
Meanwhile, Cheatham Park, never mind. I'm not even gonna do it. It don't even matter.
Ain't no never mind. Cheatham Park has been having issues, and there's city with Cynthia Perry loves her school, loves Peabody this, Peabody that. But when we brought up the issue about Cheatham Park and her Cheatham Park pavilion issue was also on the committee as well. She didn't provide any updates as far as what was supposed to be going on. And now you don't have any money for your project. But if you look at the budget, 2030, Cheatham Park is supposed to be getting something done. So what I feel like happened was she didn't look at the budget. None of them ever do. And she didn't see that she actually had something on there. So with them passing the budget, that was part of her reason why she didn't have nothing to fight for anymore. She was okay with 2030 being the time where she would possibly get some money, but if she know, like we know, he could take that money and put it somewhere else.
I feel like that Cheatham Park thing is another carrot, because let me tell you this. It didn't take them 6 months after they got that money from Johnny Downs to start work on Johnny Downs. It's taken them 20 years to work on Weiss and Gold Ring, and it's going to take them all the years that they haven't worked on Cheatham Park plus 4 at least, and it's going to get kicked down the road again. And somebody was talking to me and they brought up a good point. Oh, they probably just throw up a few trees in the park and call it a day if that is into 20. And shit, who knows? Peabody might not even be open in 2030 the way they're trying to shut it down. Peabody might not even have an athletic team. Peabody might be the new Aiken, the way they're trying to run it. You never know. Listen. My good friend Nat Turner said that the other day. They trying to turn Peabody into Aiken optional. That's what happens when you starve them of resources. When you don't put equitable tax bases in those neighborhoods, it turns into that. And now the Rapides Parish School Board is now splitting $6.2 billion between 3 schools, 3 Montessori schools.
3 Montessori schools. Yeah.
And none of those schools include Peabody. So, unless you're talking about Peabody Montessori, that's a whole different story.
Yeah, Peabody Montessori will be getting some of them. I just posted on YSKT before we got on here the schools that they'll be giving the money to.
What are the schools?
So it's gonna be Peabody Montessori. Let me go to my page because
You see, they playing with y'all. Jeff Powell hasn't done anything for Jeff Powell hasn't done nothing for black schools but close them. That's it. No improvements, no nothing. And even if he did make any improvements, you can't make an improvement on one end with close a school on the other end. That's not an improvement. You're trying to set the community back. She don't care. She live in the area, but
can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
Oh,
Oh, you must be switching in between screens. You can't
I'm
switch
not.
in
Oh
between.
yeah, I am. I am
Miss
switching.
Jeannie Moran said
Dang it.
Rosenthal is one of them.
Yeah, I know. Well, I was trying to read it to you, but I keep having to switch.
Oh, okay. Well, I
So
just want to
hold
know those
on, hold
schools.
on.
Okay.
So it used to be Ash, Bolton, and Peabody, right?
Uh-huh.
Now it's Peabody Montessori, Rosenthal Montessori, and Mabel Brasher Montessori.
Now, the reason why Ash and Bolton don't need any help anymore, or didn't need any help in the first place, is because A, Ash has a hell of a tax base. And B, Bolton, A and B, get it? Bolton has, they pretty much are a private school now. Right? Well, it's a public private school. It's what the people in St. George are hoping to do. To put a private school with and make it with public dollars. But yeah, so yeah, Peabody again on the low end, and I listen, I'm not finna get it. That's way in the weeds. Let me get back on topic.
Great opportunities for recreation done in a new and smart way and in a way that gives access to people that may not be able to break off at all times and go to a traditional course. We'll also note over the weekend on Sunday, I passed by the Brink, the small, our famous small course at Bringhurst, and it was just tremendous. There was a tournament play going on, and it was incredible to see. It is really a gem to have in our community. And so,
anybody know about the smaller golf course that we were paying for?
What smaller golf course, and what is he talking about right now?
It's a golf course out by Bringhurst called the Brink.
I'm gonna have to go see
I
because
know
I
it.
didn't.
It's
It's right there by the city park. It's about that one.
Yeah.
I be forgetting all about that one.
Well, we pay for that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit! Now I done clicked on my own, tried to run my own damn thing. Hold on. Let me get some of these questions out the way. Let's see. Rosenthal is one of them. Who should be concerned that Cheatham Park and Peabody High are not being championed? Oh, Cynthia Perry. Probably trying to make it a charter school, maybe. Probably so, Miss Jeannie Moran. She knows she doesn't care and she lives in the area, but just her house eating. Oh, just her house is eating. She should be making sure everybody good like they're doing for their people on 28 East. You damn right. You damn right. Black people need to put their foot down and demand a change. Treat them how they treat you, because right now they're treating you like it's still the 60s. Damn. Give that lady a spoon.
There are lots of opportunities there. I think there have been a lot of events at the links as well. In fact, some of the complaints when I go by the brink, I will go by there on the weekend and talk to people and interview them.
Well, he said he would go by there on the weekend. It sounds like he goes golfing out there on the weekend.
Exactly. What the hell is you talking
What do you
about?
mean you
And
go
what
by?
complaints they supposed to have at links on the bayou?
Oh man, what do you mean you go by there on the weekends? You mean you go golfing? Is that what you're trying to say?
Right.
Like, just say it, bro. Like,
when we did our cleanup, I peeled off while y'all were still picking up trash to to go talk to them a minute. And I will tell you that there were.
So while y'all were out there picking up trash for his campaign.
Yeah, the community cleanup thing.
Oh yeah.
The Alex clean up thing that ain't gonna happen for another 3-4 years.
That's the same shit Roosevelt did when he was running. I think he did it again.
You mean, was he recording them people at the corner on the north side by that gas station?
Probably
was that
so.
him recording them people picking up that trash at the corner?
Probably so.
Was you played a video on it before? Huh?
Probably so. No, I know it's tons of pictures.
The biggest complaint I heard was that there's too many tournaments at the links, and so they were being pushed off to go play at the brink. So,
so things going good for the golfers, for the people that like to golf.
I want to see the ROI. Since things are going so fucking good, Jock, show us how much links on the bayou made the city. How much in that is going to make it back into the taxpayers' pockets?
Yeah.
Yeah, since it's doing so fucking good, show us the paperwork. Show us the Carfax, champ. I can't stand this swole-headed demon. She comes up with a new name for this nigga every episode. Why are they not doing stuff like this through the year instead of waiting for an election? Because he has to get you to believe, because he don't give a fuck. Exactly. It's vanity.
I listened and I asked where they were from. They were all from Pineville.
Again, let's talk about the people that he wants to talk to, the people that he gets advice from. He meets them on golf courses on the weekends, and they're from Pineville. He would rather talk to golfers from Pineville than to talk to you black people. He would rather talk to strangers from Pineville on a golf course than to talk to you black people, to you blacks, you ratepayers. He would rather get advice about his city that he's the mayor of from complete strangers from a whole nother city than to talk to you blacks. And not trying to believe, but I think black community just got used to the treatment because everyone who sends up for change, they target like the 80s. Oh yeah, they try to get you up out of there. I'm one of them. But you can't catch me.
Which I was happy to hear. That means they're coming here to do it. And I thought that was relevant on another set of levels. But the one thing, and it isn't making fun, I say this partly in jest, is that it's sort of like if someone says there was traffic, if it's not due to a traffic jam, it's just due to more people in an area. Sometimes the mayor looks at traffic differently than a citizen. A citizen will complain and a mayor may say, traffic's an indicator of people moving about and doing things. Same thing with the links.
Yeah, it's about people getting the fuck up out of here. Sorry. Where did Shamir go? Let's see. I just got a message. Now you know what his priority is. Talking to golfers on a golf course about these people.
Issue. The fact that there are that many tournaments is a good thing to me out there. Now, you council members, and especially Mr. Fowler, because this is sort of one of those your baby things, as golf has been. It is.
Anybody else hear that? Anybody else catch that?
Because we already know that's what he does. We already know that.
But just think about this. All that shit gets done, don't it? Don't all them people get their money? Don't all the endeavors that he wants to endeavor in, as far as Chuck Fowler goes, don't all that stuff come through for him? Don't Links on the Bayou get supported every year? Every year.
Something that we also have to consider, right, Tanya? It's like Johnny Downs or any of the other fields. You have to consider use and with the public's availability to use those items that they pay for through taxes versus people who use it for other purposes that are more commercial in nature. So you want people being brought in.
What other purposes? What other purposes?
In the community, you want to stay in hotel rooms, you want tournaments. There's also an obligation to provide it for other use. There's always a balance there, and we have written policies on that we follow. I don't know that the Lynx has caught up to some of that yet, or we've looked at it. We do it differently, right? There's an RFP put out. There's a manager. They make those decisions. Just to let you know in my life how it works, if citizens come up to me and say, we're not getting to use it, then you have to think about that. You have to consider what, if anything, do you intervene about, or do you leave it alone?
Sounds familiar. Sounds like that little baseball problem Brother Jay Scott had. Remember when his team wanted to, when he wanted to use Johnny Downs and they said no, and then they
Yep.
Oh, Jay Scott is another black person he has a problem with. I forgot about that one.
Yes, go ahead.
Jump in. I was talking to the managers out there, out there last week.
Which course?
At the Links.
Yeah.
We're having a tournament. He says they're so busy on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays. It's hard to even get a tea time. There's no tournaments, just.
Now, mind you, yeah, citizens, he did say citizens come up to him. Mind you, it's literally at this time in Alexandria, it's thundering, right? Because you can hear the thunder in the video that we're watching. I didn't know that the entire bottom was falling out of every rain cloud over Alexandria, to the point where I saw videos of flooding that were ridiculous. Let me see if I can pull one up. I never, hold on. Oh, yeah. It was hailing. It was hailing. Let me share this screen. Look at the size of that hail. That's what was going on at the time of his stupid little press briefing. Right? Hold on. Let me switch back and let me see if I can find a better video. I don't need to show a video, but for the people that aren't in Alexandria, I would like to show y'all what it is looking like, or what it was looking like. Damn. Damn. Okay, I can't find it. But if you guys got any videos that you would like to send in. Oh, I know where I could go. Urban Cast is always chasing the weather or chasing something. They're always chasing something. So, yeah, this is what I wanted to show everybody. That was a picture of a manhole cover that was just sitting in the middle of the street. Right? Hold on, I'm going the wrong way. Oh, that's what it looked like in the streets as he was sitting up there talking. And if you know, you know. I know where this is at. I know where this is at. Right? I think we all do. Right? That's what it looked like today. You see what I'm saying? Some lady said this is Government Street. And let's contrast that to what the fuck we're talking about. All right. We're flooding, right? The streets are actively flooding at this time that he's giving this bullshit speech. And they're talking about tea times and the golf course being too congested. Tea time. Tea time. Damn, Miss Jeannie Moran said they were all out at Martin Park in wading boots, clearing out water drains on Milmar. But he over here talking about tea times.
Because his priority is this reignite. For some reason, he obsessed with this reignite. Because I think
he's driving a reignite bus because he thinks that's what's going to convince everybody to go to pass these bombs.
Not only that, is to get him back in that seat.
Yes, indeed. Oh.
And that's why it's important that everybody understands that he cannot get back in that seat again, because his priorities is not all of Alexandria. It's certain parts of Alexandria, the parts that he has an advantage over or has an advantage to take care of. This conversation he had, this conversation about reunite and where it came from, if you listen to what he's saying, when he originally came out with it, he said who came to him. It wasn't none of us who came to him and talked about no reignite or come up with no idea. It had nothing to do with us. And that's what you guys have to understand. He's sitting at tables and he's talking to people that you're not talking to, or you don't have access to. Okay? He's talking to the money. And I hate to say it like that. That's why he said what he said when he got back in there. He said the businesses. That's what he's talking to. He ain't talking to us. Regardless of how we want to see it, but that's how it is. And see, when people try to minimize you, that's when you stand up and stand tall.
Yeah.
And you stand in numbers. Because that's what it is. We complain too much. We don't want to solve our own problems. And we're very proactive. We're never reactive, we're proactive. And for one thing about Jock, in them 16 years he's been sitting in there, he understands exactly what the average Black person gonna do and say. And that's why you got to change that whole narrative. That's why you got to change, because we can complain about them all day long. But until everybody get together and go against them, it's a complaint. It's us just kind of giving you the knowledge. It's time for y'all to take action, because you've been well equipped with all the information and the tools and resources.
When Roy gets out of the mayor seat, how do you ensure the next mayor doesn't acquiesce to the same agenda Roy has? Because by the time we get to the polls, you don't know what's up. By the time November roll around, you're gonna know exactly what's up.
That's right.
Because
And it won't take a whole bunch of promises either.
Clear, it's gonna be so clear. It's gonna be like coming into the daytime, leaving out of the night on what you should pick and who you should pick. The uneducated, stupid nutworks at Peabody talks about them and the neighborhoods. He ain't getting back in that seat. He can talk all he wants. He's talking to that damn jailhouse. Damn, Miss Charlton. I always want to send somebody to jail. Those are the kind of conversations he's having with people that ain't even citizens. And you want to listen, John, you better not ever say nothing about us not living in Alexandria. You over there trying to calm people from Pineville down from going to the city council. And y'all met on a golf course. And their complaint was that they get pushed off the golf course because of other things that are happening. Don't you ever in your life fix your mouth to ever say something about people that don't live in Alexandria. Because you was, man. Free to use. Johnny Downs is free to use. You said links on the bayou is free to use. I don't believe it. Hold on. I don't believe it. Oh, you can't hear? Hold on.
Yeah, I couldn't hear either.
Yeah, tonight StreamYard made me take a survey about how it was, and I gave him a glowing review because I do enjoy using StreamYard. Let me run this back a little bit.
I look forward to having also these.
Can y'all hear it now?
Indoor simulators and all of that. I think that's going to be another opportunity that we can talk about here with the ball, et cetera.
The only thing about the bingos is free.
Yeah. Well, I was going to end on that all the assets we're talking about are free to use. I wanted to start this off by thanking Tanya. Raise your hand. Tanya Corley and Angie. I think she's off today.
Raise your hand.
But Angela Gio.
It went out. Y'all gotta let me know something. Oh, okay, it's loud and clear. Okay. Johnson can take his ass home. Nothing from nothing means nothing. She called the man an inmate. Damn. Roosevelt or Gary?
Tanya Corley, is Lisa in here? Yes. Lisa Harris, who, while HR director, still runs Q. And I wanted y'all to give them a hand. These three ladies, I'm sorry. I'm out. You got to redo it. And Stacy West, who's here, who is the rogue who goes between and among all of this to make it happen. These four ladies put on something extraordinary. Q had 35 teams. So, guys, that's just to put in perspective. That's right in when queuing was its own event out on the river when it was at its height. I think the most teams we ever had was 37 or so. So this is right at that level. I took a lot of time to interview with those guys and talk to them about, look, they told me it's the best. They praised her like you wouldn't believe, said no one's treated that way, the way they're treated here anywhere else. They told me numbers in Dallas. These guys follow this circuit.
Hold up, what?
So
I
basically,
gotta
he's
refresh
talking
because I
about the
can't hear
people that were
you.
competing in the barbecue contest. Oh, damn. The people that were competing in the barbecue contest from out of town were giving these beautiful, glowing, raving reviews of how they were treated when they came to Alexandria.
Okay, so he's not talking about employees. He's talking about citizens.
No, he's talking about people that are in Alexandria for literally 2 days.
Oh,
That Alexandria doesn't make a dime off of. That we cater to. We roll the red carpet out for these 34, 35 teams. Right? We treat them extra good. We get community engagement. But you black folks, let me read you this letter about you black folks.
They're very serious. One guy has 50,000 followers at all times when he's actually cooking. He has his phone going the whole time. He said that in Dallas, if you have 35 teams at a single event, even there, you're at the top of the game, but you barely will see that. So this footprint, they love it. They love the downtown. They love there's a festival around it. They get to do things. I saw there was a young kid whose team was winning some stuff. He was apparently the kid in the hot dog contest. I noticed that. It's pretty.
we know you did.
I didn't like this part. This part made me cringe a little.
I'm very cringed the hell out.
Yeah.
Pretty, he's a strong kid. He was very, I don't want to use any bad words, but he was sure of himself for sure.
So that's your thoughts as you was watching this kid eat a hot dog?
Keep on going, please.
All right. All right. Relax.
So this kid had a really good time, and they go around and tell everybody that. And I thought it was a spectacular event. I think that there were probably some record-setting moments of it. Also, I want to point out that on Thursday, we're always trying to innovate. Thursday was something to see. So for those of you who saw what happened Thursday night at Dinner on the Bricks, you got to see something special that you see around the world, and it really it gives people a very warm feeling about community. And I want to point out that all of those folks were local, from the citywide choir participants to others at Ash and from other schools and places. Miller and Hill was represented strongly. These were local folks that put that flash mob. It's not really technically, I guess, a flash mob. It's part of that. But that same thought where you would see people, for those of you at home watching, people popping out of windows and singing, and then building up to more than one sort of crescendo of music. The kind of music people all will sing along to and get into. So I want to.
So none of that Uncle Luke 69 boy shit, okay, guys? Ain't no, whoa. None of that Tootsie Roll. y'all
Miss Jeannie, he was talking about me. No, I saw Miss Jeannie. She put a big comment. I was just going through the comments where she said she was replying to Miss Bell, and she said, but he proved today that he's listening to these platforms. And he also talked about the young lady that spoke yesterday at the council meeting, but he wasn't at the meeting, and he got quite specific. Yes, Miss Jeannie, he's talking about me, and he's talking about YSKT, Alexandria, Louisiana. He's talking about me, yes. And he wasn't there, no.
Oh, and he can't stand Linda Bell. This list of black folks.
He's scared of her.
Yeah, Jock can't stand a lot of black folks. I'm not saying, listen, why would you hate that particular group of black people? Are we Klansmen? Do we go riding at dawn and dusk? And do we create havoc throughout the city? Or are we asking questions that you don't want to answer? Miss Bell on one. She said, I don't give a fuck.
She say, I don't give a ew. They don't play with her. They don't play with the Miss Militant.
No, because she keep her words very concise. Very concise.
And she's very concise and consistent.
Yeah, and consistent. And those are two things John can't handle.
None of them.
I tell you, thank you for the innovation to the team. It was just a wonderful weekend and a safe weekend. And I had many, many people tell me about the presence of law enforcement and what I.
The thing I enjoy the most about the lies that Jock tells is that he always bases them on people that we can't identify.
Uh-huh.
I've had 1,000 people, many of them were
It wasn't even 1,000 people there combined with the whole goddamn weekend. You need to quit.
I had 1 million people email me. And I'm not being facetious by saying 1 million. I really mean there's 1 million people that emailed me about this. The light on Jackson Street in Mac. I'm like, no, you know,
Without further, yes, they were there the whole way. They were both there visibly, and I can assure you, there were a whole lot of folks you didn't see in a whole lot of different places with a whole lot of technology. And
so there was a lot of plants, is what you were saying. You had a whole bunch of off-duty police officers dressed up as regular citizens, taking pictures and eating hot dogs and shit.
Hey, Miss Tamara said
Oh,
Alexandra Middle Magnet School and Arthur Smith are closed tomorrow due to flooding.
okay.
So that means a lot of schools about to be closed tomorrow.
He reminds me of one of those puffer fish that swell up when triggered.
Oh, a puffer fit. He showed dude with them spikes. His
With
hair
those
always looked
spikes.
like he used got to be gel or something.
Not the 1,000 people in his head. That got to be Joe. He has no use for anyone that doesn't bow down to him or cower to him. The mess down there was about horse shit and nothing. We got to stop her at some point.
ability to to make things happen if we had been in an unfortunate situation. And I know that no one likes to end on a negative or really lead on it, but I will tell you that we've seen this in festivals all over. These are challenges no matter what size the city is, big or small, you know, whatever. We're seeing those challenges. So to the chief, thank you so much for the good job that your folks did. And without disclosing all of your security apparatus, I will note that your ties to state police and all of the things you've built in your career over the years came to bear so that the whole burden was not on APD, but as a matter of fact, the sheriff, LSP, and so many other organizations that I'll leave you to name at another date were involved. But I am aware.
Yeah, nobody cares.
It don't even be that big to have all them goddamn
Oh,
officers
man,
there.
you
I didn't
see stuff
big, but the
now.
only reason why you really just need it now is because of the youngins. Like the youngins don't have nothing to do, you know. So if something popping off in the city they've never been to, you know, that's just hey, we gonna go here and y'all know how it go. Oh, we see people we don't fool with and boom, fight. You know,
Oh
it's like
no!
at the fair every
Once
year,
you get
huh?
ID'd as a black person at
Yeah.
one of these events, they was watching. That's the only reason they was out there. They was
But what I'm
watching the.
saying is, it wasn't always like this. Is what I, you know, is what I'm saying. Like when I went, like what 3, 4 years ago, it was really low. I mean, security was there. Security, APD was there. They were riding on a little cart too, but it wasn't the ones that they about to get that they just passed. They was riding on a little cheap little golf, you know, looking, you know, thing. That's what they was riding on. But now they about to get those upgraded cam, you know,
I'm trying to
defenders.
figure out where. Okay, how are they going to deploy if his example was that we chasing somebody on the levee? How are you going
Yeah.
to deploy that? Are you going to drive it all the way?
So pretty much they go obviously they're gonna be the kind that can go up you know, hills, you know, and
How
whatnot.
are they
Have
going to
they
get it out? How are they going to get it out there?
well it's gonna be brought here. It's gonna be brought here to
No,
them.
how are they going to get it to the levee?
They you know how to get to the levee on a they just go up the hill, man, wherever they at
No,
down third, wherever they,
to
let's
the
say it's that okay, so the reason I was given by one of the APD officers because I asked him, he said we're gonna use them for things like River Fed, Winter Fed. So we're gonna be on you're gonna be downtown, right? So you know the levee is right behind there. So I guess all they gonna do is just, you know, find a way to go up the hill, I guess. I really don't know. I mean, that's what they told me. They're gonna be patrolling through. Like I said, I've seen them patrolling on little carts. You know, and they're a little cheaper looking carts. I get it. There's nothing wrong
He
with
wants to be.
upgrading. You
They
feel
want to
me?
have a little bit of oomph to
But
them.
like
They
Miss
want to
Linda
be able.
said, I said what I said, and
They
you
want to
need
put
to
some
pay
pointers
attention
on
to
that
the
bitch.
spending. Why can't y'all get cheaper little things? You got to go all the way to the top. 2026. Wait, what? This our money. You ain't asked us. And then, like Mr. Jewell said, it was only one bid. Y'all didn't even get more bids to see if y'all could get them for cheaper.
I think a lot of the stuff that we be picking at at them city council, it'd be a lot more under them than what we know. And we just be picking at it on the surface level. But underneath it, like when Mr. Green said that it was only one bid, I was like, oh, it must be Walker. That's my first thought.
Nah, it was
Was it
I forgot.
somebody in? Of course, it was somebody in town.
Give me a second. I'm gonna go back and look.
All that security, why they didn't break them fights up? That's a good question. Well, it wasn't no fights. We had a couple of disturbances where people were trying to share drinks, and somebody got confused and they grabbed the wrong cup, and that was the extent of that confusion. But other than that, it wasn't no altercations. We don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, I think these people are local. It's
Oh, she switched out.
my bad. So yeah, they're gonna be. It's called CHL Enterprises LLC. Hold on. DBA
Lower Motorsports.
Power Sports and Equipment. That was the only bid.
I'm going through their reviews,
Yeah.
but screw the reviews.
Yeah, screw the review. Where is this at? Where is it?
Oh, Coliseum Boulevard.
Ha! There you go, 28 West. One bid. One
One
bid,
bid.
y'all. One
One bid.
bid.
What happened now? I'm sorry, y'all. I had to walk away. What happened?
We she got to the bottom. Okay, so yesterday, Mr. Jules brought up the fact that it was when Shamir said what she said about the vehicles, about those police vehicles, Jules added on, he said, I just thought it was weird that there was only one bid. And so she went and got the budget book and found out where the bid came from. And guess where it came from? Lower Equipment on Coliseum Boulevard.
Because I keep trying to tell y'all what's about to happen.
Not new inventory. Uh-oh. All inventory. They said they wanted a brand new one.
Brand new. And I asked why. Because one of the officers, he told me, I asked one of the officers that was at the dump, me. Because I mean, you in uniform, obviously you got to know what y'all about to get these things. So I just asked him. And he said, don't quote me on this, but I think they have to be like the latest year due to like policy, maybe.
No.
And I said, maybe it's a security thing. I'm not sure. I would have to look into it. Like, why does it have to be like the most updated one? Because the most updated things comes with a warranty most times.
Right.
So I don't know. I would have to find that out. But again, they only had one bid.
And this was one vehicle.
One is 2-door, one is 4-door.
And this was the other vehicle. Right? $37,000 and $34,000 respectively.
Yes.
So you're
And
looking
all
at
I said
almost,
was why you can't get two of one kind.
and he didn't answer it. By the way, he never
He
answered
said,
that
is
question.
that even a question? Are you serious, bro?
And it looks like they got the top end of the top end.
Yeah, oh yeah. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah, they got the two most expensive vehicles at Lower Sports.
Mr. Kevin said CHL Enterprises is ran by Chris LaCour, a local attorney.
Ah, come
Damn.
on.
So, wow.
Come on.
I got the hookup. Holla
I
if you
got the
hear me.
hookup. Holla if
Holla
you
if you
hear
hear
me.
me.
Ah,
Wow.
Kevin, let me tell you something. Ain't
Yes,
nobody feeding this
indeed.
community. And even for those of you that don't want to be a part of this Can We Be Frank show community at University, you're in the community, champ. And nobody beats us. Nobody gets the information faster. Nobody does anything better than we do when it comes to these Alexandria politics. Chris LaCour, damn, son, you hooked up one of your lawyer buddies, huh? Damn, son. Right in our faces. Right in our faces.
He's gonna make sure they eat. That's the whole point. They're gonna make sure they eat. And I keep trying to tell you, we don't make sure each other eat, but they make sure they eat. That's the
Well,
whole
there's nothing by the time we get a hold of it, there's nothing left. And you got niggas fighting over crumbs like Gary Johnson and Cynthia Perry. And Cheatham Park and whatever the fuck Gary pretended like he wanted. Gary, listen, you ended up on Jock's ballot. And listen, that's never been a good look. That's been people's death certificates before. Their political is being endorsed by Jock is damn near political suicide. And Jock marks you because guess who else Jock endorsed? Roosevelt. Guess who else Jock endorsed? Reddix.
your opponent too.
Huh?
Behind closed doors.
Oh yeah. They support their opponents. Fighting over the damn gristle. You damn right. Not crumbs. Worse than crumbs, baby. These are worse than crumbs. You feel me? There was nothing left to the budget. And they were still going back. Well, I just want to make sure that, we gonna go in a conversation about it. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We gonna talk about it. We're gonna try to find a way to make this work and make sure that we both kind of get. We're gonna make some compromises. And like Mr. Porter said, how the fuck you gonna come start with a compromise? You coming to the table compromising. You didn't even have a list of demands. You just came there. Hey, listen, I really need some stuff. I don't have anything in particular I want, but go ahead. Oh, somebody washing clothes. That explains why he never returned my calls. He deals with Roy. Yep. Well, you don't need him helping you anyway. That's right, man. That's right. You know we got stuff in-house. We'll figure it out. We always do.
And I did go out and thank him. I saw fire marshal. I think everybody was here, and I thought it was incredible. And just a hand to you two, please, for the police chief, if y'all wouldn't mind. So good job on the FET. Really pleased about those outcomes.
He looked like he doing a night show. Like he looked like he doing a talk show at night, like he Johnny Carson or some shit.
So back to the local data. I won't go through it all. I've gone through it in the last two of these, the kinds of things that we look for. We'll have more, Paul. As you know, we're trotting out a lot of different things with capital projects and other things. And the numbers will be positive, and they will, I think in a good way, but in a non-argumentative way, they're going to refute some things that are put out there in the ether that are negative, that just the numbers, math won't lie. It'll just tell you where projects are being done, what the numbers look like, how much money is spent, where it's spent, all of that.
Who you talking about? Who you talking about?
Yeah.
No, who you talking about? Who you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you talking about those numbers that they're being put out?
Oh.
I wonder who's going around taking snapshots and screenshots of the budget and highlighting stuff and posting it everywhere.
Damn.
I wonder who.
Like it's not free information? Like it's not public information? All
Right.
right.
How you going to refute the numbers you provide? You made those numbers up, champ. Even if you did make them up, how are you going to make up other numbers to refute the first numbers? Nah, bro.
Questions we've had lately about our small business and AFEED program. going to be very happy to be putting these numbers out, and instead of sitting back on it and bragging and doing whatever, we're going to double down on this. I have a series of meetings starting this week to take advantage. Instead of saying check the box, we're going to up it and expand.
Mind you, y'all, we are officially. Let me check my calendar.
Opportunities for people.
Let me check my calendar real quick. Mind you, my good people, we are down to 1, 2, 3, 4. We're 4 city council meetings away from qualifications. Keep that in mind. I just did the work. We're 4 city council meetings away from qualifications. So that's why he's moving the way he's moving. He was too damn high to remember what he did. Damn.
Figuring out how we can further reach into the community. So I'm going to take a personal moment on that. I worry about that. So as a sort of, you fancy yourself as a futurist, you think about all that technology is about to bring, and you think about AI and all the things it can replace, the jobs, the people. That scares me to death. Those are jobs for people. Those are opportunities that are going to go away, or at least be.
Hold up.
How does it scare you to death when you went to the Baton Rouge?
No. How does it scare you to death, but you don't even know that your marketing team is using it to replace real human beings, interviewing real human beings, because you wanted them to go out there in that goddamn pouring rain and thunder because y'all already spent our money. Tell them about that AI though.
And it just scares me to death. You know, it works on my goddamn nerves. You know what I mean? And I just don't understand like why these people are like, what can we do to stop this from taking place? And I tell you what you don't do. Hold on. You don't do this. Hold on. So much stuff to sift through. I'm looking for one thing and one thing only. And you guys know what I'm looking for, because I need a little bit of cringe. We need a little bit more cringe. Oh no. Guess what? Oh no, they didn't.
Are you gonna let rain stop you?
We gonna party rain or shine. We gonna party rain or shine. We gonna party rain or shine. Call your girl and tell them rain.
We're gonna party rain or shine.
It's a party, you're invited. Come on in.
You mean to tell me that's what keeps you up late at night? That can't be what keeps you up late at night. You literally hired those people, man.
About AI and all the things it can replace, the jobs, the people. That scares me to death. Those are.
No, sir. That has been determined to be a lie.
Jobs for people. Those are.
Also, you did go down to Baton Rouge to lobby for these private negotiations to take place, where you can talk to these people that the rest of the city and the rest of the people don't know about, and you don't have to reveal any details of what you're actually auctioning off or giving away to these people. But yeah, no, totally. Data centers. Yeah, we weren't thinking of data centers when you did that.
Opportunities that are going to go away, or at least be done in a different way. And there are many futurists who say it's going to create new jobs for human beings, that with every growth in humanity that scared us, from a TV to whatever, all you saw was humanity pivot, and then there was a whole new thing, new set of growth around it. I don't know why this one feels different to me. Probably every generation says that about these moments, and then they find that, the Y2K problem didn't happen, right? This feels different. think the types of thinkers you hear out there are telling you it's going to be different. And we do know it's replacing things every day. And that stuff is going to be more integrated in our lives in a way that I don't think there's any doubt that human beings are going to be challenged by, especially general artificial intelligence as that comes online. We're going to be challenged by it in a lot of ways, from safety and security to just replacement. So I think it's more important than ever for each community, and that means for us, our community, to figure out where our competitive advantages are, where the opportunities are for growth and expansion, and what we can do as a city to help that along. And we'll talk about that at a separate meeting, which I'm going to schedule following this right away. So I keep getting off the point of the local data. The biggest datum point that I think
any reason why he looks like that all the time? Like he like, even if like if you would just pull your jacket, your coat tail down, it would get that material from being hunched over your shoulder. You know what I'm saying? Or if you just tucked your collar in, or even just put on a tie. Just put on a tie.
Yeah, you can tell his wife don't give a damn how he look anymore. He just walk out the house looking like he got them clothes out the laundry room or something.
If you think that he doesn't have clothes in his office, he does. He does. He could have changed clothes. And there's so many other
A
things.
steamer. I mean, you got 7, 8 goddamn assistants. Somebody could have did something.
Wait. Oh, okay. So, Kevin, to your answer, he's Vince Russo. Yeah, he's absolutely Vince Russo. Yeah, he's absolutely Vince Russo. See, Vince McMahon had, he had vision. He had, you know what I'm saying? He was a part of the story. You know what I'm saying? And Eric Bischoff actually, innovated a few things. He brought you the NWO. He even, when he brought in the NWO, he had people thinking that Hall and Nash or Razor Ramon and Diesel actually were still Razor Ramon and Diesel coming to invade WCW. That was great. You know what I'm saying? But Vince Russo was shit. He was just a shit. Like, he still is. He's got some crappy promotion now, but you see, I know my wrestling. That was a whole side conversation you guys didn't get.
You should think about is the growth of what I would call auto sales and auto sales dealership growth. There are things you can look at, from hotel occupancy rates to that are just indicators by third parties who don't care about anything else, but they're not going to grow unless the data tells them to, and they get a lot of national data. So if you have a Walker, BMW, Mercedes, they're going to hold their dealers to a serious level of knowing what they're doing, and they're going to also get a lot of data that not everybody can get. And so when you see Kia and all those places proliferating and growing, that is a really good sign. And it also means there are sales happening. And so all of those are good indicators.
As I said earlier, no problem. Yeah, as I said earlier, right? People, listen, my pops and mama, they drove all the way to Dallas to get the car that they wanted, right? You can travel to go get whatever car you want. And Alexandria having all these car dealerships does not mean Alexandrians are buying cars. Alexandrians can barely afford their utility bill. Why do you think in your mind of minds that car sales equal progress?
Why are we catering to everybody else but us?
Because y'all don't matter. Where? Hold on. You know who he reminds me of?
That's a good question.
You know who he reminds me of? Hold on. I got you guys. What time is it?
Give me, Jack. Give me. Hit me. hit me. You can't do it. Somebody drop this fool for me.
By the way, I know this is gonna get taken down off of YouTube. I'll appeal it.
You got us twisted, homie. You gotta put your own work in around here.
It's like that, boy.
It's like that.
Player to player, pimp to pimp. I don't believe you shoot me, nigga. Don't do it. Don't do it. I don't believe you got it in you, Jay. Shit. I'm gonna get that gun, and then I'm gonna get that money. And you ain't gonna do a damn thing, because you ain't gonna shoot no cop in the back, are you?
Don't do it.
You know what they give you for that? The gas chamber. You know what the gas chamber smells like? Pine oil. That's where you headed, boy. To pine oil heaven. I'm gonna get that gun, and then I'm gonna get that money. I don't believe you got it in you, Jake. I'm gonna go get it right now. Oh, shit! Ah, you motherfucker!
The next one will kill you.
Oh, son of a bitch! You shot me in the ass. Okay, wait. Okay. All right, look. One check. I need the money. Give me the money, Jake.
He said, I need the money. I need the money, Jake. I need the money. I need these bonds renewed. I need this tax referendum passed. I need it. Or else I'm going to have you all playing basketball at Pelican Bay. 23-hour lockdown. Right? In this case, in this alliteration that I'm making, right? We are Jake. And Jock is what was his name? Alvin. Whatever his Jock is the Denzel Washington character. And right now we're in the middle of getting we're in the middle of the scene, basically. So let's get back to the real life version of Training Day.
Given you several in the past. I can tell you that the types of businesses that we're seeing open up, the size and scale of some of those things, I think are going to be increasing. I think the data shows that. And I think there are some new things on the horizon that the media is talking about now that are going to offer the opportunity for jobs that are high paying. And we'll inform more as that goes through. So the other thing I think is you're seeing a recommitment of the community and really getting it about healthcare. So I've been harping on healthcare as the competitive advantage industry, if you will, that we have. And right across from the mall, right across the street from the mall is a surgical center that's being built brand new that faces Prescott. And it is a massive amount of money going into that. And so that is a huge expansion in the Cabrini health footprint, all of that area. And so those things, that auto sales and healthcare, where we already know we have an advantage, are big things. The Allied Health building being built is a big thing as part of that. And that'll be in the downtown. So moving on. What is Reignite and what is the idea behind it? Well, before you is the corridor, that is not all of Reignite, but a focused corridor. You might call it Reimagining Masonic Drive or the Masonic Drive corridor. And in that, you'll see that there are lots of assets, but they all tie into retail, recreation, and health. And that fits all of the things we've been talking about, not just today, but in this vision for what Reignite would focus on. And so on one end of the corridor, we have all of those recreation assets that you can see here, and they move down into the healthcare assets that spread all the way down. And we have the huge retail asset of the mall. But remember, not on this, behind the mall is all of that retail for blocks and large city blocks, right? And on a large corridor of additional retail. And then if you go forward on that and you're on the Baton Rouge Highway going perpendicular to that model, all retail there and opportunities from hotels and motels to other opportunities. That's another indicator I did list earlier. You look at occupancy rates. I did mention that. If people are building new rooms, that's a sign. They don't do that without a lot of data. And they look at everything from how many cars pass by to just really deep dives into who's staying at the hotels, why, what conventions are here, or what business is here. So all of those are indicators. An obvious tied in one I mentioned before would be the use of the flights at both our commercial flights and at the fixed base operation. As I told you before, my dive into it was that not political, just because I think it matters to separate it. Don't give me the side of it that It has to do with immigration. Take that out of the equation and tell me what it's doing outside of those pure numbers, because you don't always know what that's going to be, right? But we need to know what industry is doing separate from that. And the numbers, also, according to the reports they gave me, are all high. So even removing that, it's very high when you add that, of course. So those are the indicators about it. The vision for this is that we would do this through partnerships. This is obviously not a city thing. And to the extent people ask you guys about that or think that, city is not offering to buy the mall. The city is not offering to run the mall. The city is not offering to own the stores in the mall or do any sort of direct retail support. The city is looking at all the infrastructure around the mall. The city looks at the mall parking lot, which, as we've said before, will never be used again that way because of how we shop now. There won't be that giant parking lot around it that has to be full all the time. It won't be, because that's not how it's done. So there are opportunities for new assets there. There's also a lot of ingress and egress around the mall that the mall owns. Believe it or not, all of their ingress and egress, their roadways, mostly theirs. And that's a huge cost to them. If we had a public purpose to be in that footprint and we took back those things in a contract, right, a cooperative endeavor that then requires the mall to spend a commensurate amount of money privately on itself to do that, now you're talking about something that makes sense. We're talking a lot about cooperative endeavors. Over the past months, most of it, unfortunately, the council has been in a negative sense from, I think, a lack of understanding or just a refusal to realize what cooperative endeavors do, why a city is involved with them in the first place.
Now we're back to trying to disparage folks because they don't politically agree with them, right? So now he's saying a lack of knowledge. And I want you to look at the common theme. He's always calling somebody dumb. He's always somebody ignorant.
And you know what? The corporate endeavor was that was a jag at Gator.
Oh no, he's about to go to town on Gator. Hold on.
I do take a look at some of the comments from time to time so I can comment directly. I saw a comment on KLB today that said, roughly, how is it constitutional or illegal for the city to own any asset? Speaking of flies and gold rings, isn't that against the law? I saw Trey's head.
He be on Facebook all the time.
So someone wrote under it, do they have to give up Johnny Downs, Franco Hunter Park? They own assets all over.
That was a recent comment. He be on Facebook all the time, man. That was a recent comment, literally.
What?
Because I commented on that comment and I said, you get it.
Now, what did we just figure out?
We were talking about the comment. If you go back, he said something about a comment somebody made about the city being into real estate or something like that. And I remember seeing that comment on there, and we was agreeing with that.
Johnny Downs, Franco Hunter Park, they own assets. City owns assets all over. Do you have to get rid of all of them? A look at some of the comments from time to time so I can comment directly. I saw a comment on KLB today that said, roughly, how is it constitutional or illegal for the city to own any asset? Speaking of flies and gold rings, isn't that against the law? I saw Trey's head. And so,
you know, I hate the fact that he refers to Trey so much, as if Trey is the god of legal matters. Trey, if you were really that good at your job, you wouldn't be shadow boxing for Jock at city council meetings. You'd be actually practicing law somewhere in a courtroom, not in a city council chamber. Why haven't I ever heard? Never mind. I'm gonna leave that alone.
Someone wrote under it, well, do they have to give up Johnny Downs, Franco Hunter Park? They own assets. City owns assets all over. Do you have to get rid of all of them? That's how it read, but I'm going to spot the original writer of that point and assume that person meant non-recreation assets, although not all cities do that. So,
well, the fucking topic was Weiss and Gold Ring. So why the fuck would you assume it was anything else they were talking about? That's feigning ignorance. I can't. It's not a good look. It looks poor on certain people.
It's not what it said, but just spotting that it's not what it meant. Well, the city, first of all, someone pointed out it was donated it, so it wasn't the city doing it, but cities own many assets like that. We have tons of buildings that the city has for various reasons, including that you, the council, over the years, whether it's me as mayor or not, have sought donations of properties for the very express purpose of redoing. I might add, it's also in the state constitution. Very clear, there's a whole section of statutory law that surrounds that, including the gate ordinance itself, that directly says that that's what gate is for and to do. And so,
and now we're back to Gator. What is Trey's official job?
That Gator is his thorn in his side.
Ball cover number 4. I don't know what Trey's official job is. But Gator, see, he knows that the black community will galvanize around the idea of what Gator is. And they will galvanize around the Gator chairman, and they will galvanize around Gator itself. So again, Gator has been like this shadow, this big evil thing lurking in the shadows of these political figures, right? It jumped. Gator jumped out and clubbed Reddix in the back of his head. Now he's no longer an elected official. Gator jumped out and dragged Ruben back to the underground where he was at before and Gator, it looks like this is gonna be the thing that takes Jock out of office. Besides what we're gonna do, because we're definitely gonna put the truth out there. But Gator is like this. It's like this mine that's about to go off, and he's holding the mine right now. Apparently, turning around in the chair at the council meeting and looking at people like an idiot. That's not an official job. Anybody can do that.
Check your chat.
Check my chat.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a chat. Is back channel chat?
The group chat?
There is no group chat. I disavow any knowledge of that. That's a good one. Here's the thing, though. That middle comment that he said it was completely made up. Wait a minute. He said there were 3 comments there, but there's only 2. Oh, Jock, what are you doing, man? You're telling these lies you don't even got to tell, man.
Like that. We have tons of buildings that do why a city is involved with them in the first place. I do take a look at some of the comments from time to time so I can comment directly. I saw a comment on KLB today that said, roughly, how is it constitutional or illegal for the city to own any asset? Speaking of Weiss's and gold rings, isn't that against the law? I saw Trey's head. And so someone wrote under it, well, do they have to give up Johnny Downs, Franco Hunter Park? They own asset. City owns asset.
All right. Okay, folks. So now we got to do a fact check. All right.
Hold up for 1 second before you go any further. Johnny Downs is not owned by the city. So let's get this straight. It is leased by the city from the state of Louisiana. They are on a 99-year lease that they pay for every month. Okay? So unless that information has changed since the last time we got that information, that is the information about Johnny Downs. So it is leased land, and it belongs to the state. It does not belong to the city of Alexandria. They don't own that. That is not their real estate. Okay, and you guys are paying for it, even though your kids can't play on it. You're paying for it. You're paying for the maintenance on it, anything that needs to get fixed. You pay for the utilities on it that stays on 24 hours a day. You pay for the Wi-Fi that's in it that they don't even have in the community centers, local community centers. I'm just saying that's what you're paying for. So when you get tired of all of that, it'll get better for you. I'm just saying.
If you don't want your producer all in the background dancing in your videos, come on out to death row. By the way, the comment that he said about whatever the person responded about Johnny Downs, it's not there. He made that up. He literally lied on something we could just pull the receipts on.
Wait a minute. What'd you say, Tavares?
So the comment that he's talking about is right here. He said that there was a third comment, but there is no third comment about Johnny Downs.
Oh, okay.
So he literally just made up his own evidence of, or his own talking point, if you will. Well, somebody mentioned something about Johnny Downs. Nobody mentioned anything about Johnny Downs, sir.
assault Trey's head. Kind of. And so someone wrote under it, well, do they have to give up Johnny Downs, Franco Hunter Park? They own assets. City owns assets all over. Do you have to?
So again, just a blatant lie. That comment was never made. Like, why? You don't even, that wasn't even anything for you to lie about. You was trying to pick at people. You focused in on YSKT. Jack, you got a problem with YSKT?
Mm-hmm.
Is it personal, bitch? What is it?
Tabars. Don't say that. Don't do that. That's not how you're going to do that.
But I'm not.
But I don't care. Don't.
I apologize, Mom. I apologize. Y'all have to, I have to apologize because my mom on here, but y'all know I'm not. I said what I said, but I apologize for saying it in front of my mama.
Yeah, he said what he said.
No, but no.
Nobody actually
it's not how it's supposed to be. It's all right to get angry, but that kind of.
No, you don't get to pick how I get to be angry now. We talking about that.
That's true. You're right. You're correct.
No, I'm angry. I'm
angry.
That
word, you don't need to do all that. You can call him knucklehead or something else. Don't. You ain't got to call him.
Out of my mind, right? I'm an angry black man. I'm just one more black person that Jock hates. Like oh no, watch out. You know what I mean?
But no, you ain't got to say that. You said enough, and I let you say a lot that you shouldn't be saying.
You know what? I just repeated it because Miss Linda Bell said it. Now, I hope you don't. I hope you don't think you're gonna check her. She said it first.
I didn't raise her, so no, I would not do that.
I see how you pivoted out of that.
Who said what first? I ain't say nothing.
I said Miss Bell.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I know Miss Bell said it last night, but I'm saying I didn't raise her.
I just repeated after her.
No.
Yeah, I second that.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing. I'm just seconding the motion.
Both of y'all.
You serve a good person sometimes. All right.
Now you can call them all kinds of names, but the BITCH, you don't have to do all that.
Oh no, that's only for females. I'm not gonna do that for females. But that one right there, that particular female on the screen. Oh, let me switch it around. This lying ass heifer right here. Yeah, I'm gonna call her one every time I see it. This lying ass heifer. All she do is lie.
Get rid of all of them. That's how it read, but I'm going to spot the original writer of that point and assume that person meant non-recreation assets, although not all cities do that. So it's not what it said, but just spotting that it's not what it meant. Well, the city, first of all, someone pointed out it was donated it, so it wasn't the city doing it, but cities own many assets like that. We have tons of buildings that the city has for various reasons, including that you, the council, over the years, whether it's me as mayor or not, have sought donations of properties for the very express purpose of redoing them. I might add, it's also in the state constitution. Very clear, there's a whole section of statutory law that surrounds that, including the gate ordinance itself, that directly says that that's what gate is for and to do. And so the idea that the city doesn't own property or that it's unconstitutional is a little crazy. Also, remember that governments own things in both a private and public capacity, right? So the government owns roads in a purely public capacity for everyone to use, right? But governments own things in private capacities. The city hall belongs to all citizens, right? Right? But can a citizen just walk in and go in the police department and kick the chief's door in and say, I'm here? No, because government owns things, the state, if you will, in different capacities.
You know what I would love to see in Alexandria? My favorite pastime on Facebook is watching these First Amendment auditors. The people that go into these public spaces and they exercise their First Amendment rights and their Fourth Amendment rights about not having to identify. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see a First Amendment auditor audit the city of Alexandria. And anybody can do it. But I know if I do it, they're gonna Cornelius White me if I do it. And I already listen, it's gonna end bad if it goes that far. But yeah, I would like to, because he's saying that even though the people own the building, You know, nobody's gonna go kick in the Chiefs' door. That's stupid. Who would do that? These examples are so far-fetched. And it shows you how far he's reaching to try to come up with these excuses.
And so we have to remember that there are things in development that government is in a unique position to help happen. And the fact that, Lisa, you were able to put all those teams out there with all of that access and get both private buildings involved and be in this large government footprint is what made that work and is what made those folks say, wow, think about that. 35 teams here. I'm going to suggest that there's no team is one person that is in. So these are 4 and 5, sometimes a whole family or 2 deep in each of these 35 teams. All those people are here. Some stay in the footprint in a home, some in an RV, some have to stay in the hotels.
So if they stayed in the RV, where were they dumping their sewage? If they stayed in the RV, who was supplying the electricity? Unless the higher end ones do, but I don't know. I just feel like a couple of them plugged in and they don't have to pay for it. So seems like one of those utility incentives.
There's also a large convention going on the whole time, which isn't a bad thing to have happen because now you've got other people at another event that can walk out of their event and all of a sudden there's a community festival of this size going on. I thought it was a great opportunity. So the government has a role in what we would call P3s, public-private partnerships. That role has to be understood in the context of not involving the government giving away your things for free. So if there's a public purpose and it's authorized by law, which we covered in the context of the community discussion.
But wait, go back. Did he say giving away your things, your properties for free? Well, that's what Johnny Downs is. Johnny Downs only makes money whenever they have those world, what's the name? You cannot use, if you're not part of Crossroads Soccer and Dixie League, you do not have permission to be on Johnny Downs. And they use it for free. He's actually had them over it for free. They don't have to pay for that. So what is he talking about? What is he talking about?
I don't know. I think he's trying to pivot away from that. I think he does this thing where he talks himself into a spot where he could potentially expose himself. He hits the hard pivot and changes it. That's why he talks about everything all at once, because he wants to be able to escape out of little corners where he talks himself into.
Place, public purpose declared. You really just get to that last third very important question that David and Paul know well, and that is there a commensurate exchange of value? So the government can't enter into any contract. It can't just, we're going to partner with this law firm to run a business. It doesn't do that.
Now, why would he say a law firm to open up a business and then hook up with Chris LaCour, a law firm, to do business with lower?
Be a public purpose. But if you get past public purpose, and certainly the renovation of buildings and refurbishment and restoration of that core.
He couldn't do a direct deal with Chris LaCour, so
is a public purpose, and by the way, it's been declared one. So the authorization by law has been declared since about 2009, if not before, by the city council in very detailed findings. So if that's the case, then you have to get to commensurate value, and that's where the rub is. So if someone says, I'm willing to do X in this corridor, you have to be willing to require of them a return. And let's talk about what that would be. So again, the reimagined Masonic corridor within the Reignite plan is all about partnerships, not just with the mall, but with Christus St. Francis Cabrini Hospital, Louisiana State University.
Now we're entering the territory where this is Curtis's words, right? Because he had Curtis, he tries to fast talk you, and this is what Curtis wrote. This is what I read last night, which was weird that he read it today because I read it last night, but whatever.
University of Alexandria. I believe that the CLTCC is going to be looking at this based on some other thoughts I think they're expressing about expanding. And I think there's student housing opportunities, student and workforce housing, Kay McGill's, in this whole footprint that we'll be talking about. The big thing is the private sector partners. How do we get them to do things? What can the city do to incentivize existing businesses to expand, either through dollars into their rebuilding things as a capital matter, or adding employees? And so if people are willing to do that with us, that's where our incentives come in. So first, they have to be a part of the public purpose. Will they align with the economic strategy? Then we would enter into different agreements with, there could be multiple folks. The mall is not one thing. The mall itself has an ownership group, but certain units around it, particularly the larger ones around the mall, like Sears, own their part. So it's almost kind of like a condo in the mall. So the mall in the middle is the mall ownership group, but there are pieces, certain buildings, not all, where there's an owner of that building, not the mall ownership group. Does anyone want to hazard a guess of whether that helps us do things or hurts? Okay. So there are different opportunities for each of those things, but the big opportunity with the mall would be, to what extent will you change the old traditional retail way you did it to meet new and better experience-driven things that the community wants, which is why you should go to this and weigh in. To what extent will you do that? And then what will we do for you in return? And so we have a list of our deliverables we would expect, and we have a list of things and incentives that we would provide if that commensurate value is there. That's roughly how it works. Commensurate value, and you can do those things. As we enter into term sheets with different groups, just so everyone understands how it works, we can enter into terms. They have no binding ability until the council votes on it. So in each situation that I may discuss a deal with somebody, it will have something that reads roughly as, all material in this term sheet, you understand, in no way constitutes an agreement. It's a recitation of goals. It could be a potential development plan, and it goes on and on with legal language that tells them they've got to meet their triggers. They've got to show all of this to get a benefit. So that's an important part of how this works. But any deal, Mr. Villard, has to come back to the council. So anything that is signed and going to be a contract, we can make the MOU or the letter of intent or whatever. And it can even say that the mayor intends that if you do these things, he will present with no further changes this deal to the council to vote on, right? But until the council votes and authorizes it, there's no deal. So when you're talking to the private sector as the city, you have to disclose that up front. They understand that part of what they're doing is they're negotiating all the way up to, and maybe they're going to have to expend real funds to do due diligence and not know. So I would ask you, as we've done in the past, we may bring some early on items that say, Madam President, Ms. Perry, look at this one. We're not done with it, but we need some early indication preliminarily, maybe a resolution that the council backs the general framework, to use something you hear a lot these days. Can we have a framework to work from? And those are some smart things to do. You won't have to do them on everything, but there would be some where if it's scalable, if it's something big enough that we want that, that's a good problem for you. If we need something from you early on to indicate the seriousness of purpose of the city, that's going to generally mean a good problem, because that's going to mean it's big enough where we don't want to go down the road at all if you're not going to buy in at the end of that road. And we've done that with the projects that the city has now, although you wouldn't know that to hear some of the problems that we've been having lately. But all of those were subject to pages and pages of published documents online, such as the Weiss and Golding project. There's nothing new about that. It shocks me that there's a lot of feigned surprise about it, if you will, right? It's probably no RFP process has more published information than that one does, and more years behind it, and including two administrations, two different ones, Jeff's and mine. So that's what a term sheet you could expect. What are the kind of things we talk about? Well, they would have to tell us, how do you intend to expand our tax base? Like, what are you going to bring that expands the tax base? Because if you think about it, someone could say, well, we're going to have a one-time capital expenditure of this beautiful building. It's going to be a lot, but it's all technology inside. So there's no employees. There's two. So you're going to have one expenditure of the material. We get that one hit, but then if there's not employees over time, those are all things we look at, Jim. It's not just one size fits all. So capital expenditure, what we would call the CapEx part, may have a lot of meaning one time, but if it's only one time and it's not that large and there's not an employee increase, then the commensurate value goes down for that group, right? It could look big and sexy, but maybe it's not when you really uncover it and realize what it's about. Do you see what I'm saying?
Did he say sexy?
Big and sexy?
I know damn well he didn't say sexy. I feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So those are just things that I want you to know that we consider when we work through it. I know most of you know this, hopefully, but I want people to understand at home. Like, is the city talking about getting into private businesses? No. The city's talking about doing the things that are infrastructure related around the corridor to spur private businesses to spend more money, rebuild their businesses, or think of new things and innovate the businesses that are there. So tax base enhancement is one. The project is expected to generate estimated annual property tax of X amount on completion. We want to know that X, and we want to go do our own due diligence to see if that X is truthful. What additional revenue from sales tax would be there? We want to know that. Why? What's the sales tax increase? And what is the expected growth over in true dollars over 5-10 years? We want to know that Z. What does that number look like? So job creation is one, infrastructure improvement, how much is put right in?
Oh, she want me to bring it back.
Infrastructure related around the corridor to spur private businesses to spend more money, rebuild their businesses, or think of new things and innovate the businesses that are there. So tax base enhancement is one. The project is expected to generate estimated annual property tax of X amount on completion. We want to know that X, and we want to go do our own due diligence to see if that X is truthful. What additional revenue from sales tax would be there? We want to know that. Why? What's the sales tax increase? And what is the expected growth over in true dollars over 5-10 years? We want to know that Z. What does that number look like? Capital expenditure of this beautiful building is going to be a lot, but it's all technology inside, so there's no employees. There's two. So you're going to have one expenditure of the material. We get that one hit, but then if there's not employees over time, those are all things we look at, Jim. It's not just one size fits all. So capital expenditure, what we would call the CapEx part, may have a lot of meaning one time, but if it's only one time and it's not that large and there's not an employee increase, then the commensurate value goes down for that group, right? It could look big and sexy, but maybe it's not when you really uncover it and realize what it's about. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, he absolutely said that, Miss Jeannie Moran. Absolutely. It might look big and sexy, you know. You know, you got to cue the sexy music. Where's the sexy music? I don't have any.
So those are just things that I want you to know that we media and folks in the room, and they say, we're going to start a call center at the incubator bill, and we're going to employ 150 people. Does that sound good? Oh, and they're going to make over $20 an hour. What do you think?
Who gonna make $20 an hour?
Well, when I was working at the call center that one of those projects that were those fake out projects, Sutherland Global, when I worked there, it wasn't $20 an hour, even though I got promoted a couple times, but definitely wasn't $20 an hour, and they definitely didn't stay past 5 years. So
no, man,
that was on him as well.
Well above that. I see some heads nodding. You may be insider baseballers. You can't answer. So it sounds great, right? And see, everybody in here knows the issue. But the issue is you go do that. You refab the building to fit what they need. All that happens. You enter into let's call it a 5-year lease. And they have an out if they give you 75 days notice. Does that sound like a good deal? I mean, it has in the past, the cities and economic developers, and they push these for 10 years like it was manna from heaven. And the truth is, you do a lot of that, and the jobs don't always pay what they promise, and they go away. And you know why they go away? Because they just go to the next group that's giving incentives to them, right? And so I don't know if y'all remember in school or when you were younger or just started out, got married, you'd get the card in the mail. This is dating all of us, and it would say 5.2% APR for the first year if you transfer all balances. And you're like, I'm on a 19.8. I'm transferring everything. Well, you understand the game, right? It's similar. So we advance all these incentives. We do all this to get them here, and they're gone in 5 years. And so what are you left with? And you've also rebuilt the thing around that. That's what I mean by resilience. Are we doing smart projects that can have a future? Or are we doing things to fit something where someone can walk away too easily? That brings up another point about the deals we'll be bringing to the council. We, Jim, Chuck, look very, and Lizzie, look.
You know what? Isn't this the same guy who tried to have the incubator building shut down and sold?
I heard him say that. I heard him mention the incubator. That's weird because they haven't talked about that incubator in a long time.
I wonder because there's always a reason why he says stuff.
Look very hard at clawbacks. So what do we do if they don't meet their deliverables? So look, if you stack all the incentives up front, they got all of their deals up front, and they could leave to go to the next good deal and get incentives again if they're have that mobility, we lose and the taxpayer loses. So that's why you'll see our deals will always stack these clawbacks or escrow agreements. So you're going to get this money off of X, Y, or Z commodity, but it goes into this account. You can't access it. You borrow against it. You can do a lot of things, but you can't get it all until you perform milestone 1, milestone 2. Making sense? So those
kind of sounds like what he did with the restore plan, huh? Kind of sounds like the restore plan was money that the city had and that they couldn't get in, they couldn't touch because it was in an escrow account, right? He's saying all the things, right? And they had to meet certain milestones, right? So they had to get the people involved. He's explaining the restore program. It's just that he's reversing and mixing and matching.
Those are the ways that you're going to see this project work. Those are the way we're going to ensure the public doesn't have risk that's undue. So we've done it more than one time. We can do it and it can be successful. It's happening with LSUA right now. So those are the kind of things you can expect. And that's what I meant by sustainability. It means how does it handle resilience to other things that are not predictable at the moment? And also, is this a long-term investment? Are we making an investment with something that's going to be here in the future? Okay. I'm going to take a minute and do a little bit of a very straightforward SWOT analysis of where I think this corridor is. This was published in more than one way, but most recently on April 10, this plan was presented by Dr. Lewis at the administration as part of other opportunities to pull Gata out of worrying about the Weiss and Gold rebuilding and doing other things. It was attached to the veto matches. The council has it. You all have it. We'll put it online, but I'm not using it.
It's already online, Jock. And you know that because I read it last night. All right. What you got, Miss Renee? Louisiana Chamber of Commerce Foundation came here and trying to get it, and he would not even meet them to talk about the business incubator. Yes, I think I remember that. Mom, do you remember that? Never mind. That guy's name. Yeah, they did try. And he wouldn't meet with them, right? And then some other things happened after that. But yeah, that is true. Oh, and you have to add in the part that the Louisiana Chamber Foundation is ran by Black folks, which is another missed opportunity for Jock and these people that could probably upgrade some of these properties, like the Weiss and Gold Ring building. A Black guy came and tried to buy that. Jock said no. The Holiday Inn, a Black group tried to buy that. He said no. The Incubator, Black group tried to buy that. And it's a prominent Black group. It wasn't just anybody. You know, they were out of New Orleans, but either way it goes, they were trying to set up shop in Alexandria. And no. So listen, Jock doesn't want Black folks in politics, and he doesn't like Black folks doing business. And he doesn't like, I'm not going to say he don't like Black folks.
For that purpose right now, I'm going to use it for the purpose of going through the public confidence portion of it, because it directly ties to this, and that's what it's about. What are our strengths? What are the internal strengths we have in the community for this project? You'll see that they translate much larger, but specific to this. Community landmarks offer the potential for a return to.
Yeah, we already read this part.
Where it is at all times, that's not bad. Lafayette, active development community. Alexandria is an arts community, home to notable local museums and institutions. Alexandria has and can redevelop significant quality of life assets, a lot of outdoors-based assets, experience-based, education and health-based. Smaller communities add unique value to Alexandria, such as the nurseries in Forest Hill. There's a vibrant ethnic retail ecosystem that is increasing with diverse culinary and other opportunities. The presence of the military contributes uniquely and greatly to our community strengths. So those are strengths. A lot of wins that are on the verge of happening right now. And to many people in economic development, if you were to achieve 2 or 3 of these big wins, it can be a tipping point, and then you see 10 and 20. And so I would just say pay attention there. Reignite is a possible opportunity. The England Economic and Industrial Development District, Central Louisiana Regional Port, Kisatchie Delta, Chamber of Commerce, all of these different things, Louisiana Central, EDO, these are all economic development opportunities. These organizations, as they mature and grow, can create and are creating new opportunities.
So again,
the current credit market.
Stop. Now, he just mentioned, he didn't say Gator. He said Chamber of Commerce, which is predominantly white. He said the doggone Kisatchie, whatever that is, most likely is predominantly white. And then he talked about Cleta, which is predominantly white. Pay attention. I'm gonna leave that there.
Market for this project and others may limit private developers' access to financing. That can be a push, council members, to increase your risk in the leverage proposal over there. So they say, I will do this project, but where we started in the term sheet, Mr. Mayor, our credit risk has changed. We're going to need the city to do more. So I see that a lot. I saw it on the Weiss's building quite a bit. And I would tell you that I see it mostly in just about anything. And I also see it as a strategy, meaning whether it's true or not, we see it. Because the idea is with political persons up here, you can come and try to get your vote on it by the threat of it, right? And so that's all the more reason to do those earlier due diligence models and do that earlier buy-in from you. So some of the things that we offered that don't have to be exactly this project, but that could be other partnerships. I hope that we had more council persons here to talk about it. But if we want to work out some sort of deal, this all went again in April. They were talk about why those meetings didn't happen, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Maybe not today, but
why? What meetings didn't happen? Is he talking about the meeting between Ms. Bernardo and Curtis?
Trying to let some of this stuff cool off like we have in the past so that we can get to what we need to get to. But we gave a listing where everything is graphed out, and you can look at the projects. We had it ranked in the order we thought. Dr. Lewis and I and a few others on staff felt this order made some sense. The idea was to do projects that were scalable projects.
He said Curtis and him and some other folks on the staff. Does that mean that Curtis is on the staff?
Yes, that's exactly what that means. That's why I'm not even commenting on it anymore. He works for him. He's been working for him, and he lied. Plain and simple.
Mm-mm-mm.
Meaning they're big and they can be made bigger. And also that Gata or any other partner can do a piece of. So they don't have to own the whole thing and be responsible. And I see y'all yawning. So Bringhurst Ballpark was one. Bringhurst Reignite project, it's already started. That would be an opportunity. Project commenced in 2024. Formal redesign, we think will start in 2026. That's the plan for it. We plan on having requests for information, RFPs released this.
Wait a minute. So they're going to wait on Cheatham Park till 2030, but get started on Bringhurst Park right now.
I said this though. I said this already though. So he's
Yeah.
just saying what
Yeah.
I already said, so
And
that y'all know. Hey, I'm gonna repeat what was already said. We're doing
Hey,
things.
that's all the time. We don't get in trouble for the stuff we say. We get in trouble for the stuff we repeat.
Okay.
This summer. That's the timeline.
He said they're going to get started on it this summer.
but he said he wasn't going to touch Cheatham Park to 2030. So I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand.
Damn. In your face, Cynthia Perry.
Yeah, that's in your face.
But they voted for the budget
They voted for the
anyway.
budget. So what you got?
After I told them, because I'm knowing y'all didn't open y'all book and look, because the capital project is all the way to the end. Okay, so I'm knowing y'all didn't look at this. I told y'all.
Yep, Miss Colson, you're right. He letting you
So
know.
each
He
one
said he's going to start on it this summer. This summer. And you got. Let me quit saying.
Not the mole in the hole.
Gave a project order, a timeline, and then a deliverable, and what we call SMART, meaning how we rate the project. And so SMART is an acronym that means be specific, make it measurable, make it achievable, make it relevant, and very importantly, make it time bound.
And there, yep. Let me tell you
Be
something.
careful.
He already telling you it's going to get done. I guarantee you it's going to be full blown. It's going to be ready to. They're going to do a ribbon cutting on it. Why?
They got the ribbon cutting.
And it's going so fast, y'all. It's like, man, like once he laid the concrete, that's kind of like okay, I can start it when I get ready. But now that it's out there, that you're using up all this money, now everything is moving faster than you expected it was supposed to. And now he's trying to get this done as fast as he can before he get elected. Well, try to get elected.
The other part is that he's trying to cover up for the money he already spent. He spent that money, and that money was supposed to be perfect. Say it again about Cheetah.
Excuse me, I said, and it's not being it ain't being spent in Cheatham Park.
Well, it's not going there. We know that.
Not till 2030.
It's not going on Culpeper either. Is that what?
And
is that the street that he said?
Exactly.
Did he say that the bus had to go on the other side of the street in order to?
And you sit there.
You sitting up there. Oh, don't even remind me. That's why I don't like them. You sat up there and you gonna make a case for the kids, because the kids can't even get off the bus at the right spot on a whole entire street, and then gonna agree with the budget. Oh well, yeah, I know ain't nothing in there for us, but let's just agree on it so we can argue over what's left over, if there's anything left over. No. I know the budget is tight. I know it's tight.
Let me get my project in.
Well, is there going to be any money left over for Helen Black? Is this the time when I ask for money? No, nigga. I'm sorry.
So the projects we gave to partner with Gata are SMART. SMART is an acronym. They're specific. They're not amorphous like, hey, this is pie in the sky. Maybe we can do this. They were measurable, meaning you could show what you were going to do on the timeline. They're achievable, not pie in the sky. They're relevant. They're already approved. They're things we're already working on. They already have a high rating, and time bound. They can start now. We need to start them now. Gata could have funded the design in that, and they could contribute in increments up to some amount, or they could wait and contribute at the end. That would be a reformation that could happen. The next one was the Alexandria Zoological Park rebuild of the tiger exhibit. since it's founded in 1922.
I'm sorry. I just want to say, I think that's bold as hell.
It is. It's right in your face.
That was right in your face.
It's right in your face.
He told you got to wait till 2030, and they talk about having this thing rolling out by the end of the summer.
He said time. T meant time, I think, or time. T meant something. So he said it was time for it to get done, and it was going to get
We
done.
went
So
over smart in the class. Remember, we went
No,
over
wait a
smart.
minute.
yeah,
No,
I
wait a
remember
minute.
that acronym, and I can't believe he used it like he made it up.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this, right? He's talking about the goddamn lion exhibit at the zoo. And we are flooding. Mind you, at the time he's talking about this, it's raining cats and dogs in Alexandria.
Hailing, bro.
It's hailing in Alexandria. While he's talking about this, people are up or driving down. What street there was that? I want to say it was Jackson Street.
Yeah, Jackson Street always flood.
They're on Jackson Street in pickup trucks with water
Texas
up to
Avenue.
the tires.
Yeah.
And he's sitting up here talking about updating the Lions Den. Man.
To the zoo is an integral major tourism and local quality of life attraction. In 2024, ladies and gentlemen, the zoo had visitors from all 50 states, Guam and Puerto Rico, every Louisiana parish, and 12 countries.
How do we prove that?
Man, them people probably was foreign exchange students from LSUA. Stop playing.
So he's trying to justify because we keep telling them that zoo is a waste of money. Okay. So then you need to take the money out. If you had all these visitors, then you need to take all that money that y'all keep what you call that? What do you call that when you help them out? Supplement. Take that $1 million that you supplement from the city, from the people.
Oh, those interfund transfers.
There you go. Stop making the people pay. Stop making your citizens.
Yeah, we keeping that alive. We keeping the zoo alive, the golf course alive.
Exactly. Stop doing.
Yeah, we keeping those things alive. Oh, and the municipal transit, the bus. We keeping the buses alive too.
Yeah, no, we barely keeping the buses alive. We gonna move them niggas over the boats.
And I did see a post by somebody, and it's hard for me to share all of them, but they made a valid opinion. Well, fact. The buses are always broke down. Literally. Y'all canceled I was already mad that y'all moved the bus transit during that fest for people that already use the bus every day. And now y'all let people know at last minute when the buses don't work. And then y'all let them know via social media. A lot of them people don't have to have flip phones, government phones. They ran out of minutes. Everybody don't have a cell phone. How are they supposed to find out? If the buses ain't reckoning to other people, they broke down.
Man, I seen them change a bus route that morning. They said that if you live over in a certain area, don't worry about seeing a bus between now and 10 a.m. We'll resume it at 2 p.m.
So now you got to call into your job and tell them, oh,
I'm not going to make it till 10 o'clock.
Like, that ain't right. A lot of jobs around here, they don't care about that. They don't care about that at all. Imagine if you had to arrange childcare as well.
Yep.
They don't think about that.
Yep.
That's who visited the Alexandria Zoo in 2024.
Then why didn't it turn a profit? All these people came. Why hasn't the city seen any return on investment from
I'm gonna pull up the numbers. Don't worry. I'm gonna pull up that budget.
Okay.
2024? Oh yeah, I'm gonna pull up that budget.
Felt that was one where there could have been
we in 2026. Where's the numbers for 2025?
Okay. So where's 2025 at?
Nothing. Listen, it was only 10 countries, but everybody in every state came through.
Foreign exchange.
Contributions by Gator to the
right.
Rebuild the Tiger exhibit. I think we need the Tiger exhibit. I think it's in the same footprint, so we're not adding capital that increases operating costs. Mr. Fowler, we're increasing. We had one. It's lost.
Do y'all hear that? That rumble?
Us do damage, and I think you need that. You have to have those big common animal exhibits. They attract. We have all these cool animals there, and y'all know that means a lot. And to real zoo people that go around, it means a whole lot. But you got to have a line of those major things. That's what kids want to see. So you got to have those things, and we can't do it with what we have. I love the Tiger exhibit my whole life, and to not have that kind of personally bothers me. It's probably a $10 million capital bill. We have some out money reserved. We have some commitments. I think I can get to 5 quick, but we need to think about the other 5. That could be in the reignite.
Wait. So
in your face.
Wow, y'all. He could find money for that. Did you hear what he said, y'all?
And I could get 5 million quick for this.
Oh.
But it's close to my heart. Just like golfing is close to Chuck's heart. You know, we're gonna get these things that matter to us. We're gonna get these things done. But the rest of you niggas, hold on, somebody calling.
You heard? Yep, Miss Colson. He sure did say that.
Hello?
Wow.
Hey, no, I'm doing the show right now. Listen, Jock, you can't call me while I'm on the air, man. Yeah,
oh my
He's stupid.
Yeah, Jock, no, listen, you're a liar. Okay, you're a liar, and we're just calling it like we see it, man. Listen, Jock, none of that's gonna matter in the end. No.
He's so stupid.
He need a check.
Johnny Downs. Man. I don't care about any of that, Jock. Matter of fact, get off my line. You're cutting in. You're cutting into. Oh, I was gonna go Loaded Lux on y'all. Because Loaded, Mom, plug your ears. For all these adult listeners out here, it's 11. That's after 11. So there's this rapper right there, right? His name is Loaded Lux. He's a battle rapper. And when he would get done beating these people with words for like a minute, 2, 3 minutes, 5 minutes at a time, and he would say, "You cutting into my motherfucking time, and you cutting into your mother's fucking time." Jock, you cutting.
Oh wow.
Okay, now you can unplug your ears, Miss McCall.
Everything you just said, you think that's funny?
He's a degenerate.
Yes, he is. Very much so.
I'm a degenerate. Oh, damn. All right, cool.
Like bond, that could be in a lot of things, but you get the picture. That's a place where we felt that Katie could do it. The third rating we had was the Alexandria Civil Rights Memorial. We have over 500,000 that we'd already committed to that, still there. You heard us talk about it.
Now you got 500,000 into a civil rights memorial. You want to put 5 million into a tiger exhibit?
Y'all keep on. Look.
He's just going over what I already went over. Literally, it's already posted on the page, man. What are you talking about?
So that tells y'all again where y'all fit on his totem pole.
Yeah, I hope y'all don't think y'all important.
Exactly. I hope you don't think
listen.
You mean something to us.
Yeah, listen, I'm trying to put this tiger exhibit back together, nigga. Y'all trying to commemorate.
People are going to still come and see this tiger exhibit when they can go to Baton Rouge and Lafayette and New Orleans and probably
go to the real
tiger exhibit too.
They can go to LSU to go see Mike the Tiger.
Hours away, they got a state-of-the-art aquarium. There's so many other places that could. Never mind. Yeah.
With Cynthia and the council at budget time, there's a real interest in that. Again, the one that we designed, not the whatever that happened in between. That's not the same scale. That would match the Holocaust scale, be bigger, and create, with everything else happening, Allied Health, some real walkable moments in the downtown. So that was another one that we offered. We did a demolition project multiplier. So this could just be ongoing, where we have major demolition issues, like the hotel that the council continued yesterday. Everybody knows what hotel that was we were talking about, right? Who can name it? That was the guest house. So I never heard the name in the council meeting yesterday. But Mr. Lawberdane had a friend called, and we're going to bump it. So we're in litigation on this. We're being pressured to do stuff every day, and we just took that off because a friend called a councilman.
That was for the fence that we had to put around it.
To keep people safe.
In fencing that we had to put around.
So this is a group saying we're the ownership group. We won't tell you who really owns it. You got to go prove it in court. Just a mess. There was no reason to bump that, guys. I don't know that y'all had all the information, but.
And that is why, Jock, you take stuff off of the agenda all the time. Whenever we do a show the night before a city council meeting and we go through that agenda and we point at something that don't sound right, magically, prestidigiously, Donna makes the announcement, yeah, the mayor's pulling this agenda item. We're going to revisit this, blah, blah, blah. And they never come back to it, of course. But Jock, you do this all the time. Jock doesn't like black folks. Because guess who owns the guest house? Guess who was operating out of the guest house? Tony Brown. Yet another black person Jock doesn't like. I can't make this stuff up. I can't make it up.
That's an example of a demolition project multiplier where we could use some help. That would be a great one. And by the way, that's in GATA's actual legislation. That's what it's for. So we could absolutely help. And if you don't like one for some apparent politics, that was the first time I heard that yesterday, but if that's
apparent politics, right? They could not like it for whatever reason they want to not like it. They don't have to accept any of those stupid ass fucking projects you're talking about.
Exactly. He's trying to force stuff on them. That's what, see, not to say that they don't want to work with the city of Alexandria. They just want to choose their own project.
They want to be able to choose their own path.
Yeah. Yeah. They should be able to choose their own.
And they should be able to choose what projects they invest in.
Listen to his suggestions.
There's no reason why they can't. And the fact, I think this goes back to Jock spent some money that he wasn't supposed to spend. And this whole kerfuffle about Gata is getting in the way of him sending out those invoices because he's supposed to be making that money back. This is way deeper than just some projects. If you went as far as to recruit somebody to come up with projects and a list of projects, then Reignite was never really your primary focus anyway, because you should have had this shit already done. You should have had all these ideas already fleshed out. When you started talking about Reignite, you shouldn't need Curtis Lewis. You shouldn't. But because he was on the Gator board and because of his abrupt departure, you're right. You're right, Mr. Mayor. We don't even have to talk about that. We don't have to talk about him no more. Every time I think about it, I'm going to just play this clip. Hold on. Let me get the clip out.
They'll get a person who's willing to sell everybody out, who's black. And they were like, okay, we see this Negro. He's going to be useful. Let's get him, and we'll get him to run around talking about black on black crime and black folks don't need reparations. We'll get him to be our mouthpiece. And after the damage is done, we're going to destroy his career because they understand a tool like that can't be trusted. If he'll sell his own people out, why would I bring him in?
Why would I bring him in the house with me? Ain't no retirement for a coup. None. And that's exactly what he just did to Curtis. And Curtis knows it. He's a willing tool. He's a willing tool. And got mad at us for pointing it out. We called it early, baby. We just called it early. You can't get mad at us for noticing patterns.
That's the case. We got plenty of other places where you can spend money to take out a building that could allow it to come back into commerce. You're getting some criticism about that, but it's gaslit stuff, guys. It's made up. We want to get buildings torn out. You talk about it every week. We hear that certain groups don't want to be in the real estate business, but they're in the real estate business. Weiss and Goldring, Dr. Lewis, is no different than any other. In fact, it's a major placeholder in a downtown that is exactly what you would do with a partner that's an EDO partner, an economic.
So he's really.
It's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. And he's full of it. Like I keep trying to tell you guys, there was an opportunity for that building to be bought and taken care of years ago. They turned it down. Now they putting it on the backs of Gata. That's not fair to Gata at all. Period. I don't care what Jock says. That's not fair to Gata. Gata should choose what they want to spend their money on. They should have that choice. Period. Not no damn old ass Weiss and Goldring building. I'm cussing. I'm saying old ass. But let's be really fair about this. Let's be fair. Weiss and Goldring should have been, you know, like that one thing that should have been buried long time ago. Yeah. That's the Weiss and Goldring building. People shouldn't even keep going back to it. Why? Because you know why? Because the way that they went about to get that building, how it turned out that it got quote unquote donated to them. That's what this is about. He wants to hold on to it. And if he sells it, he's gonna sell it to one of his buddies, just like he sold the Holiday Inn after they fixed the Holiday Inn up. That yeah, let me rephrase that. You guys fixed Holiday Inn up.
If you guys think that there isn't a benefit in all this,
Holiday Inn.
sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying, and one of his buddies he wants to do
His
it off the back.
his cousin's got Holiday Inn.
Yeah, he wants to do it off the back of y'all, the labor. He wants y'all to pay for the labor so that he can sell it to one of his buddies. That's what's getting ready to happen.
And for him to be harping on it, this has to be something super important. There has to be something that he's not telling everybody.
Somebody waiting. Somebody sitting in the shadows waiting. That's what they're doing. They're waiting.
Development organization partner. It's done in every city all over. This whole made up thing that's somehow different here or strange, it's unbelievable that. So just a few.
Now, can you hear the thunder?
Yeah.
Now you can hear the thunder. It's raining cats and dogs in Alexandria, and he's in the city. He's in the city council chambers doing the mayor's briefing, talking about Weiss and Gold Ring, while people are literally flooding actively. In that moment, people were flooded out. But he's talking about Weiss and Gold Ring. This story, you can't make it up.
A few years ago, we got criticized for not doing enough of it. So what's the truth here? The truth is it's a danger. It was donated. It could be fixed. For the idea that, well, if we gave that money, it would be lost. What would we get? It's not lost. The money you get in your organization comes from others. It's a tax stream. It doesn't belongs to the public, the money. The money.
Oh. Oh, you changed it now. It's not my money. It's the public's money now. I wonder what changed.
Is used to take something down to allow the private sector to invest and bring up sales tax dollars. Winner.
He literally said, winner, chicken dinner.
Say it. Okay. Everyone wins on that. That's what you have an EDO for. There's classes on. I mean, it's not a thing. This is
why are they to keep harping on that Weiss and Gold Ring building? Why is that a big deal? You got other buildings
because of Harry Silver, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's somebody they already got in the wings to get that building. We just need you to fix it. We need you to tell the people that Gator is going to fix this building or gut it out or whatever so that we can build on it. That's what this is. That's what it is. Maybe they're going to keep it in family. Yeah, that could be another thing. Yeah. Yep. So he can, while he's banking. Yeah. Now, if you just said, now hold up now, y'all. Let's go back a little bit. Now, did he say they had $5 million for the zoo? They can come up with $5 million. It'll be a $10 million deal, a $10 million project that he can come up with $5 million. Why can't you come up with $1.5 million to do Weiss and Gold Ring?
If you could come up with that $5 million, how come you couldn't come up with that same $3 million for the affordable housing?
That's right. You got all this money.
You said it. You said it. So you can't be mad. You literally you said it. So you have a way to come up with the money, but you won't get it to pay for
it. And put this on top of everything else. That $5 million that he's talking about would go into the Parks and Recreations Fund.
Mm-hmm.
The Parks and Recreation Fund that funds Cheatham Park. So he can fix Cheatham Park. He can fix Cheatham Park tomorrow if he wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
But Perry said, "Nah, we'll wait till 2030."
Straightforward stuff. But if you don't want to do those partnerships, why are they being done? What makes this so different? I think some information will come out about that. I think it's some personal stuff happening and political stuff, but that's not for today. That's a different
day.
He will not let that go.
Dang.
Jock, we're gonna get under your skin, buddy. We're gonna get under your skin. It's gonna happen. So you're gonna have to find out a way to control your emotions up there, because it's gonna happen.
Demolition project multiplier, it's a good thing. Don't pick that, pick somewhere else. But it sure made sense for that one. It didn't happen yesterday, and that's fine, but that's got to be torn off. That's not because of us. It's just because it's unsafe. So what makes that building different? Because it touches like a condo, all those buildings next to it. So whether the chief is here, whether, Sam, it's a fire hazard or a fall hazard, it's a hazard, right? And something has to be done about it. And that's a.
So wait a minute. It's been a hazard.
For a very long time. For 30 plus years, it's been a hazard.
It's been an eyesore for at least 20.
Okay.
Perfectly valid public purpose. Such a different, huh? So then I had a last one that I thought, Dr. Lewis, we were pretty innovative on, called combinated phasing, which would just be, it could be any combination of the things you just said. Gator could pick and choose it like a cafeteria plan. I want that piece here, I want that piece there, I want that piece there. So, I mean, this is a lot.
So they came up with a multiple choice answer for Gator for the projects they want Gator to do.
Again.
To do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Curtis was doing recon. That's why he was on the Gator board. And who put him on the Gator board?
Mm-hmm.
He would have been Miss Cynthia's pick. Miss Cynthia Perry's pick.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
You see, the seat became vacant, and that's when she got Miss Whitehead in there.
Come on, man. I'm telling y'all. And listen, Mama was right.
That went into thinking of some pretty easy ways to get out of a problem of just, I don't want to be involved in a building that is precisely the project that your legislation designed you to do.
It's designed to do that, but it also says they could. That doesn't mean that they have to.
Yeah. That's the part that's the part he keep missing out on, and he won't say. They don't have to do Weiss and Gold Ring. Why is he so hell-bent on making them do Weiss and Gold Ring? If they said they don't want to do Weiss and Gold Ring, quit bringing it up. Quit bringing it up. Let them make their own choice. Now, that 1.2 million can go toward building a small grocery store down Lower Third.
No, because then that would wrap up all their money and we wouldn't be able to get a hold of none of it. we don't need them operating, on their own autonomy. We need them doing what we want them to do. So I got Curtis here. He wrote down some stuff and he came up with some ideas that they can pick from. And
District 3, y'all gonna have to get rid of y'all person, because I'm sorry. Because what you just said about the grocery store thing, like, since Miss Perry has been in there, she hasn't gotten anything for y'all in y'all district.
She got a daiquiri.
Oh, but wait, she did take pictures on the basketball court when they only fixed one of them. Y'all still got another basketball court and Cheatham Park. So y'all got a daiquiri shop. How's that doing over there?
It's got a daiquiri shop next to a police substation.
Yeah, I don't even think it's there no more.
It's not?
I don't think it's there anymore.
Yeah, it's not active. Yeah, it's just a daiquiri shop. No.
But it's okay if the politics don't allow it. Doesn't make sense to those people in development, but it's okay if that's the case. But what isn't okay is what happened, and I'm going to get to that right now. I think that we have continued to try to help resolve a problem that it doesn't look like there's a desire to resolve. I will tell you, I asked for all of the contacts, Rick, you, Dr. Lewis, Gate, and everybody else to put in the record for the council to see. And I have those here, and it reminds me a lot of if somebody knows if they call you at 3 o'clock, you're still working at school, so they know they're going to get your machines. They can say, I called you back, but they know you're not home, so they can check the box, I called you back. This is so easy to see what Dr. Lewis tried to do and was not allowed to do.
Hey, you see what he did there? He saved Mr. Lewis, because at one of the previous meetings when Ms. Bernardo said they couldn't come up with a date, and Lewis didn't get back with her, and he went on that whole rampage on Facebook about how Miss Angie lied on him.
Right.
Either way, what I said was no one met from Gator's side or your side, which he didn't even say he was from the administration then, but we all knew. Nobody met within those 2 weeks. That's unacceptable. So now he's saying, oh, well, he's in school during the day and this and that. He has worked with Gator before. He knows the hours of operation of Gator as well. And he had the same job that he had when he was with Gator as
On
well.
the Gator
So,
board.
all right. So, what are we really saying here?
All right. So first off, now that he is specifically mentioned Curtis as an agent of the city, now we need to see the contract that Curtis has with the city. Since you want to play this game, Jock, we need to see that paperwork. So I will be putting in a FOIA request to see the contract that you have between Curtis Lewis and the city of Alexandria. Because if you have Curtis Lewis acting on behalf of the city of Alexandria and being the agent of the city of Alexandria and doing work on behalf of the city of Alexandria, he absolutely has to be under contract. And so
He
now,
calls him a reignite ambassador.
oh, well, no, there's no reignite. I want to see the paperwork. Show me the Carfax.
He could be a volunteer.
You can't. All right. So you're a volunteer acting as an agent on behalf of the city? No. No. You can't. There's absolutely
Well,
no.
he already has a full time. You heard what he said. He already has a full-time job, so he gets off at a certain time. So how can you have two full-time jobs? So it could be one of those part-time. He calling it a reignite ambassador, but it could be one of those part-time jobs that he has that gets paid. Well, those are you get what I'm saying. He might have one of those made-up positions. You know where you can give him some money. They all do it.
Well, again, if there's a contract between Curtis Lewis and the city of Alexandria, maybe the people need to see that. And it is a matter of public record. It's a matter of public record. So now that you're saying all this, now we get to put the test to the test.
What's not easy about it is that it's happening among professionals. And we have people take this lecture and tell the public stuff, and it's just not the truth. And that's just not okay. It shouldn't be coming in front of the council doing that. And maybe I was too critical of the council and saying the council is too much. Or
you know how God don't like what he's saying? Because the series of lies that he's telling, every time he tells a new one, the thunder rumbles a little bit louder. We keep listening.
Too easily allowing it. So I want to say a statement, and then we can pick up some of these at another time. But I think it's important to say this. Serving as local elected officials is increasingly difficult. It's probably due to the loss of traditional media and the absence of sometimes authentic community engagement, real community engagement. Hecklers are loud, and hecklers' vetoes are more powerful than any veto I've ever had. And they can come as threats to you at home, and people at home don't see that some of you get threatened. There are some folks that are not in this room that sit on that dais who get threatened a lot. And what a leader faces, not in her community of supporters, but by those who organize against her for disruption's sake alone, is something that we're seeing more of here.
He talking about Cynthia. Stop it for a second. So she said playback. So he's talking about.
Oh, hold on. Miss Jeannie want me to run it back.
Yeah, run it back.
Truth. And that's just not okay. It shouldn't be coming in front of the council doing that. And maybe I was too critical of the council and saying the council is too much or too easily allowing it. Going to get to that right now. I think that we have continued to try to help resolve a problem that it doesn't look like there's a desire to resolve. I will tell you, I asked for all of the contacts, Rick, you, Dr. Lewis, Kate, and everybody else to put in the record for the council to see. And I have those here. And it reminds me a lot of if somebody knows if they call you at 3 o'clock, you're still working at school, so they know they're going to get your machine, so they can say, I called you back. But they know you're not home, so they can check the box, I called you back. This is so easy to see what Dr. Lewis tried to do and was not allowed to do.
That's because
what's not easy about it is that it's happening among professionals. And we have people take this lecture and tell the public stuff, and it's just not the truth.
We have
he get off before Gator get off.
Exactly. So full of
That's just not
okay.
He's saying that people come up to the lectern and say things that simply are not true.
True. Yeah. See,
but again,
what
just like
he wants you to do,
he has a ton of accusations, but no evidence.
Exactly. But not only that, y'all. Let's put this in perspective here. They don't want us, they want us to abide by whatever the bull crap that they throw at us, and for us not to argue it when we know there's truth to a lot of stuff. There's untruth to a lot of stuff that they're saying. So he don't want us have any questions or questioning or doubting the information that they're giving to us. That you can't do that. That's a dictatorship. That's an authoritarian type mindset. No, we don't have to believe what you say. No, we have a right to research it. Yes, we have a right to inform the local people of what the bull crap that you're trying to throw on them. I don't care who's sitting on that DS. That goes for all of them sitting up there. Every one of them. Nobody is expended or excluded from trying to bullshit the people. Excuse my language. Okay. So he's sitting up here and trying to make it sound like it should be against the law for us to question the stupid decisions they're making with y'all money, and the selfish and the self-centered decisions they're making with the taxpayers' money. And he was talking about
on the council doing that.
Sorry, go ahead.
He was talking about us, somebody threatening Cynthia. No, we're calling her out for what she is. And that goes for anybody. And if you watch, like I keep trying to tell y'all, take time out and watch other city council meetings, watch other town hall meetings, watch other commissioner meetings that they have, police jury meetings. Some of their meetings don't even, ours look like a doggone party compared to some of these other meetings when those people are upset and mad and don't like what's going on. They clown hard. So what happens in this city council is nothing compared to how they do in other ones. The people don't tolerate you sitting up there lying to us and spending our money. That's what the problem is. He don't want nobody saying anything. And he wants everybody to agree with the bull crap they doing. And it's not fair.
And maybe I was too critical of the council in saying the council is too much or too easily allowing it. So I want to say a statement, and then we can pick up some of these.
He was being too critical, saying that they're allowing it. He wants a dictatorship.
Yeah, it's a dictatorship. He wants to dictate what happens in that city council, and he wants the city council to be the same way. That's why Cynthia does what she does. That's how she treats Mr. White the way she does Mr. White, because that's coming from Jock. That's not coming from her. That's coming from Jock. And every time he comes on here and make these little side remarks, he's letting you know he's telling the Diaz or the council what they need to say.
He's talking to Cynthia. He's talking to Cynthia specifically.
Yes, he's talking about, yeah, because he can tell her what to do. Yes, yeah, exactly. You have to pay attention to what he's saying. Like we don't have a right to criticize them.
But I think it's important to say this. Serving as local elected officials is increasingly difficult. It's probably due to the loss of traditional media and the absence of sometimes authentic community engagement.
It's the loss of traditional media. What the fuck does that mean?
It doesn't matter how you say it. If it's the truth and it's got paperwork to follow it and there's receipts, it don't matter who it comes from. It can come from a horse. It don't matter who it comes from. Just because you don't agree with it, it's the truth.
Real community engagement. Hecklers are loud, and hecklers' vetoes are more powerful than any veto I've ever had. And they can come as threats to you at home, and people at home don't see that some of you get threatened. There are some folks that are not in this room that sit on that dais who get threatened a lot. And
wait a minute, who be threatening them? Who be threatening them?
Again, accusations.
They always use the word threaten, though. They always use that word.
Something. Threatening a public official is illegal. Just like he said, Jeff Hall was committing malfeasance in office. If it were true, he'd be in jail. It just like threatening a public official is a jailable offense. It is. It's a jailable offense.
So who be threatening them?
Nobody's in jail for it.
I really wish more of members would go to those briefings. When she said, okay, I really wish more of the members would go to the briefing so that they could see if he is his chicken ass would say some of the things he say in their presence. Yep, you're right, Miss Colson. I'm telling you, yeah, you're right. A hit dog will holler. Mm-hmm.
Cases, not in her community of supporters, but by those who organize against her for disruption's sake alone, is something that we're seeing more of here.
They're saying, he's saying that we're disagreeing with Cynthia simply because we want to disrupt the meetings.
Now that sounds so stupid and asinine. That sounds so stupid. And hell no, council has no community engagement until election time. That's right. They don't do town hall meetings. They don't do none of that. You're right. You're so right about that. They don't have no engagement with their community. None. She don't, and none of the rest of them do.
Well, Malcolm does.
You gotta
and I know
one,
Jules is at I think Jules is at almost every event that happens in LA. Sometimes he's in two places at once.
But you can't sit on that. You can't sit on that DS for 4 years and have 1 or 2 town hall meetings. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not.
Never had one. She's been on there for 5. Gary ain't never had one, and he's up for re-election. Jock ain't had none. Jock ain't never had no town hall meeting where black folks were included, and he been up there for 16 years.
He ain't gonna have one. He ain't gonna have none with black people in it.
People curse her, say vile things to her. People want to break some people's God-given and sanctified talent and spirit.
What? What?
Oh, man.
This is hilarious. This is hilarious. Get thicker skin. How about that?
Send them to jail if it's illegal. You want to control people's First Amendment rights. Their right to free speech.
You know what? He going after the ideal that sometimes when Nat and y'all be saying you're gonna pull out the whip.
That ain't real. Man, we be in jail. She be whipped.
And there are threats being made to your council members. I don't know if it's happened to all of you in the room, but I've seen it happen to more than one of you in the room.
Okay, so if you seen, you lying sack of shit, if you seen somebody threaten a public official and you didn't call the police and you didn't get nobody involved, Cornelius got up there and simply said something and you had his ass thrown to the ground.
That's right.
You sat by, you watched somebody threaten somebody and you didn't do shit about it?
Yep. Yep. Because he don't care.
Because it didn't happen.
Long as I've been attending council meetings, I haven't heard anyone curse at her. No. He said, God-given and sanctified talent. Yeah, that's funny.
But what about when she cussed at the city council meeting? She cussed at the other city council members.
No, how did this shit? She cussed at him. Remember when she was on her apology tour for fucking us over with the Restore? And she brought them Christian group up there, and we all had to witness the holding of the hands and praying and how she was sick of this shit.
Yeah.
And when it works, those threats, when it works, meaning the threat did its job, what that leads you to do is the authorities is suppress or restrict the speech or expression of speakers or officials or persons who judge things officially rather than address the disruptive behavior. In other words, it occurs when the government or institutions inadvertently silence the many in favor of the heckler.
Who you calling a heckler?
Wait a minute.
He's calling y'all hecklers.
Oh my God.
Why you over there looking like a stuffed turkey in a suit jacket?
You want to be heckled? John, if you want to be heckled, I can stop this video and we can just spend the whole rest of the time that I want to be on live talking shit about you if you really want to do that. Nobody heckles anybody. And to reduce people's opinions to heckles.
Wow.
to reduce people what people are saying to just call them hecklers because they disagree with the bullshit that Cynthia literally disagreed with last week or 2 weeks ago and agreed with this week.
Wow.
I'm a
Josh,
ratepayer first.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, Shamir. You took it right out of my mouth. You first you're ratepayers, now you're hecklers because you disagree. Wow. Wow. Y'all, this cannot be real.
Vetoing the truth. That's the whole point. That's why it's called a heckler's veto. Sometimes a leader even hears from well-meaning persons that are fooled by it, like, why did y'all do this? And you explain, oh, I didn't. That's not what I heard, right? Or that's not what was presented. So when there are fewer reliable news sources to cover local issues, officials struggle to communicate actions and policies. And that's what I see.
You communicate those actions and policies by actually doing those actions and policies in spite of what the news says. If you were really doing something. But you don't like the fact that people highlight you're not doing shit.
Yeah. Yeah, basically.
I see happening. And social media can spread information. It can polarize public opinion quickly. It can make it harder to foster honest dialogues. Genuine community development can wane. Busy schedules and disillusionment by people keep them at home.
Why would development get held up by social media? Oh, you're talking about us talking about the Weiss and Gold Ring building, because that's not community development. That's a property development.
Yeah. Yeah. He's mad. He's really feeling some kind of way.
So what you tend to hear is not from all the folks who are supporting.
He's priming his supporters for what he knows is coming. Yep. Yep.
What you do or get it, right? You hear from somebody who doesn't have those challenges at home, is able to come here week after week and tell the public something that is not happening. But for these guys and gals up here, they're here. They're here.
What was that?
Who are we talking about?
I don't understand what he said.
They're here. They're
he called him a guy phone call and he continued behaving. Yeah.
And I don't know at home if people can sense it, but sometimes what's happening and the stares that people get, and it's not caught on cameras, but it's very real.
He's talking about Jonathan Goins and Stephen McGee. Remember when we were watching it and I said Stephen McGee is staring that nigga down?
Mm-hmm.
He was. That's why Jock is talking about it. Because Jonathan,
the whole thing. He talking about all of us. He's talking about people.
He's talking about eye contact. That's what he's talking about now.
He's also talking about the way we be looking at him too. All of us, when we sit in there, we be looking at them upside their head like they crazy. I know I do.
And I think some people find it very threatening because they share it with me outside of here.
Not they scared.
They scared. I'm scared. I just think
y'all be having about 3 police officers in there.
Yeah.
And then y'all got your own interest and exit. Like, what are you talking about?
They're scared.
They tell you on the outside. Are you kidding me?
I'm scared. Don't look at me like that. That hurts my feelings. I'm sorry.
I think that people have to realize that the leadership here, all of these members, every single one of these 7 people are pressured by that. And part of it is, right, it goes with the job. It is your job in many ways to feel some of that pressure and not always have people in here to agree with you. In fact, I would suggest to you that the people who come to talk are rarely going to be here to agree with you. That's why they're here. That's all normal.
So it was said. Only the ones that show up is the ones who disagree with you. That's what he basically said.
Yeah, that's what he said.
There are, despite these obstacles, leaders who choose to act with integrity, even when faced with criticism.
So you lack integrity if you listen to the constituents?
Yes.
You lack integrity if you allow the constituents to say what they say with their 3 minutes? You know, the citizens are leaders, right? They aren't elected officials. They're citizens, and their job is to get the truth, or if they want to express their truth, that's their God-given sanctified right.
And I think true leadership does not mean engaging in a conflict purely for the sake of fighting. I think if a council member sets up a battle for all of you purely to throw you out on Front Street with that battle, when they have no interest in the outcome being one way or another, it's only to do that. Well, I think that's a vain and useless act. And what
now we're circling back around to what Mr. Porter said. Remember when he said that the reason why they did that veto the way they did yesterday is because he didn't want Lizzie and Villard being exposed.
Mm-hmm.
They would have had to say no.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's talking about right now. He thinks that Malcolm is doing this because of politics, and he's trying to do the gotcha moment with why would he think that? Oh, that's because
he would do. Because that's what he would do. That's why
he would do.
Yeah. What I mean by that is that it's vain because it doesn't come from a good place, and that it's useless because it doesn't lead to a place. It doesn't lead to an accomplishment.
So you're talking about vanity and uselessness, right? So you're saying that you know what was on Malcolm's mind when he asked that question, when he introduced that agenda item. And you're now judging Malcolm as a person because of a political difference. You're making this about politics. This was about policy, but you're making this about politics.
So just like somebody said, I heard dollar holler.
Yep.
Right or not, it's not a real thing. And I think that a leader can know that. And a leader may want to make a vote that they agree with doing something. They may not agree with me or you or the rest of the council on something, but a leader can vote a certain way to end a vain and useless act. Because they know it leads to nothing but disruption and turmoil and a game that's being played.
That's the reason she said no.
Because of what?
He just explained it to you.
That it's vain because it doesn't come from a good place, and that it's useless because it doesn't lead to a place. It doesn't lead to an accomplishment. So it can be trifling or trite or not. It's not a real thing. And I think that a leader can know that. And a leader may want to make a vote that they agree with doing something. They may not agree with me or you or the rest of the council on something, but a leader can vote a certain way to end a vain and useless act.
Yeah, that's what she did. Yep, that's what she did. That's what she did.
Mind you, she's not even there.
Mm-hmm. She told him.
Yesterday. Mm-hmm. So you know they talked.
Yep. Yep.
Because they know it leads to nothing but disruption and turmoil and a game that's being played.
So it's a game. So it's a game being played. So we're all grown adults concerned about where our money goes, and we question it, and it's a game.
So sometimes a leader says no to something she may personally support because she recognizes pursuing it would create pursuit of a false or unwinnable situation or a vain and useless act. A leader knows that an outcome leading to nowhere but to sow discord is vain and useless.
So he told on her. He told on her.
So if y'all had any question about what we were saying up until this point about Cynthia, whether or not it was true, Cynthia and Jock had a conversation after that city council meeting because it did not go the way it was supposed to go because Jules wanted to make that motion to hold that override vote, and Donna and Trey fucked it all up, and Cynthia participated in it.
Yep.
Now he's coming back to cover her tracks. And that, I feel, is what she wanted to holler at Malcolm and Jules for yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what do leaders do? Well, leaders have some qualities. And some of those qualities we always see in a good leader. And we see that leaders have courage.
Wait a minute. We're getting a leadership speech from Jock Roy.
We're not intelligent enough to have those skills already, or we've actually positioned ourselves.
Like he does. That's what he's going around telling you. You need to do it like I would do it. If it were me up there, I would shut that shit down.
Yeah, because you're vindictive, like a little child, a spoiled child who's vindictive and revengeful.
Courage, and we see that leaders have wisdom. And courage is important. Maya Angelou said courage is the most important virtue because without it, you can't practice any other virtue with any degree of consistency.
Stop using one of our black women sayings. You don't have. You don't
he's
get that.
he's doing the thing. He's doing the thing. He's trying to appeal to black folks.
Yeah.
And wisdom has different parts. One of them I would call discernment. And discernment is a unique thing. And if you're a person of faith, you have a definition of discernment, right?
Yes, because everybody else, what he's doing is he's adding God into the mix, which is exactly what she would do in this case. And now we're talking about gifts of the Spirit, which discernment is one of them. So I guess he's saying Malcolm didn't have discernment, and Malcolm is just here to cause all kind of confusion and wreck the city council and destroy relationships and friendships. Malcolm, the mild-mannered of the two Lauderdale brothers, is here to cause all this confusion. You know what? Jock doesn't like Ed either. Yeah.
She said,
gift or talent of being able to tell good and evil, right and wrong. You have a real sense of being
good and evil. Oh, what? Political differences boil down to good and evil. Jock, you're gonna have to stop with these. What do you call the Jock? You microaggress constantly. Anytime you talk about black folks, you have a microaggression with it. Jock, you might just need to have the meeting with us and the public and just say you don't care too much for black folks. It's not that I don't like you guys. It's just that, we don't have any commonalities, right? And the community that I come from, there aren't that many black folks, right? And the ones that are around are the ones that I can use and throw away. And unless you're like a Reddix, unless you're like a Jonathan Goins or a McCaffrey, or unless you're like a Chuck Johnson or a Roosevelt Johnson or a Gary Johnson, you know what I mean? Was she one of the Johnsons? You're not gonna make it in my group, man, because we need you to do certain things for us. And more particularly, I need you to do the things that I'm telling you to do. But I don't know why y'all keep putting him and Cynthia are friends. I didn't know that.
Being able to come across a person. If you're not spiritual, that's fine too. You still know what discernment is, right? You can walk up on a situation and by people's actions or what they say, you can determine what's really happening. Or maybe you just have a history with the person. But discernment's critical. It's a critical gift, and it's important to have these things in place. So as the presiding officer of the council, I want to express to the president that I acknowledge the challenges that she's facing. And I want to acknowledge that just like the vain and useless act of some of what happened yesterday, an ordinance presented to disregard a previous ordinance. I want everybody to understand what I vetoed. An ordinance was presented by a lawyer member of the council to disregard a previous ordinance that allowed a contract that already was signed, exists, and had at least partial or related performances. You follow me? So an ordinance passed to undo that is a vain and useless ordinance because it can't accomplish undoing the written contract. And in the first meeting, I'm trying to be folksy, and I was trying not to let it get into a fight. I even suggested, Mr. Member of the council, you would acknowledge you can't undo an existing obligation. And the member leaned back and nodded yes. And the member
Look at that. Look at that.
Jack? Are you trying to get into our analysis territory, sir? Sir, don't do that. Don't do that, Jack. You have way too many tells to sit up there and try to talk about somebody else's mannerisms. We know when you're lying. We know when you're mad. We know that without even hearing you talk. We know when you toss and turn in your chair. We know when you're shuffling the papers or you're going through an insane amount of water, or you just like that time you summoned Curtis to come speak. You were pissed. You were livid.
He was livid enough to save my money.
We know you too well, Jock. We've watched you, sir.
even made comments. And yet it was pushed to do it anyway. That's what I think a leader, not me, another leader, saw as the vain and useless act of yesterday. So the veto was over vain and useless act that led.
If it was vain and useless, why did you have to veto it?
Yeah.
You're dumb.
He cannot help himself. That narcissism in him will not let him. It will not let him just let things die. He has to. There's no need for you to come and explain it now. You didn't want to do it the day that they had
Want to do it in front of everybody else. You didn't want to do it at the council
because you know what y'all did was dirty. That's why you knew it was dirty what y'all did with Gator, with putting Greg Upton and Callis and Carol and putting them together. You knew all that was dirty. You know that. That's why you don't want to face the people who know you did what you did. That's why you didn't show up and you wrote a letter. That's why. Now you want to talk about it at the mayor's briefing because you know it won't be no interruption with you telling this long story and making your little microaggression comments. Yeah, we get it. That's that arrogance and that narcissism in you, sir. We get it. Talking about discernment. You have the audacity to talk about discernment? Really? Do you look in the mirror and catch your discernment? Do you look in the mirror and see who you really are? I'm sorry. I had to go there. I apologize.
All right. Look, y'all. We're going to put this here at the, because it's midnight. We're going to put this here at the 1:04 mark. There's about 23 more minutes. Y'all want to get through this? Yeah, let's get through this. I might as well keep.
Led to another vain and useless act. And my point in all of this is that those things are being solved not for the end of getting something accomplished for the community, but for the sole purpose of counting a vote or having people stand out so they can go, you voted for or against it and you did this. And it's the same.
Mr. Porter called it.
Mm-hmm.
Same folks in the room that are doing it. And they're not doing it because it's about a community development idea, a future project. And so when we stop all that commotion and not say, let's stop, take a break. Your ordinance can't do what you're seeking to do anyway, but I don't want to fight or have to veto or do anything.
Why did you veto it if it can't do it?
Mm-hmm.
What would be the point?
Engage in it? Why even engage in it?
If it was already vain and useless, you should have let it pass like they said.
No.
And fought it out in court. And we could have really seen if it was vain and useless. Like you do everything else. You feel so strongly about it, you wouldn't even have to get a legal team on it. You could go defend it yourself. You're a lawyer. You wouldn't have to pay gold wings and bruisers. You could go up there as Jock Roy.
Let's just all take a break and go home and figure something out. We go spend the time to do this, and a third vain and useless act occurs. The creation of a document in good faith that was met with utter and fulsome bad faith. No real intent to try to resolve it. No real intent to meet, but a series of.
So it was accept this deal or accept that deal.
Mm-hmm.
But either way it goes, you're going to accept one of these deals that I'm presenting to you. Other than that, it's vain and useless. Listen, Jock, you're making a horrible argument. I want to see your court wins and losses. Because if this is any indication of you and your legal practices, sir, you suck.
Yeah, I need to see because maybe that's why he ran for mayor. Because God,
yeah, because he's a horrible lawyer.
The games we had this time.
Huh?
No, I was just gonna. No, go ahead.
You didn't show, Dr. Lewis. Well, he's given me everything that happened. I wouldn't say that's the case. So back to my point with the media. You're not going to see that in the media, guys. You're not going to see anyone uncouple what happened because it will create what people hate the most, an inconvenient truth. I thank you for being willing to do it.
And you know that boy, his foot, when Jock patted him on the head, his foot got to tapping so hard and his tail got to wagging.
The limited time that we spend on things that I'm sure you will take hits for, and that it's all contrived on your end. Same with the council president, which there was no coordination of whatsoever. I can say it won't be believed, but you can know it because you know the truth. And I think the president of your council should know that I don't know her full motivation of her vote yesterday. I just know that to me, it showed a leader who sees a vain and useless act and is tired of.
Wow. And it might cost
he's given me
her
everything that happened. I wouldn't say that's the case. So back to my point with the media. You're not going to see that in the media, guys. You're not going to see anyone uncouple what happened because it will create what people hate the most, an inconvenient truth. I thank you for being willing to do it. The limited time that we spend on things that I'm sure you will take hits for, and that it's all contrived on your end. Same with the council president, which there was no coordination of whatsoever. I can say it won't be believed, but you can know it because you know the truth. And I think the president of your council should know that. I don't know her full motivation of her vote yesterday. I just know that to me, it showed a leader who sees a vain and useless act and is tired of seeing her council divide.
She's a
I've not
follower.
spoken to Cynthia since, and I didn't speak to her before.
Yeah, whatever, Nat. I mean,
Some of you probably have.
Oh, so he's speaking for her.
But what I saw yesterday was true leadership.
Whatever.
I saw courage and discernment. And
Wait a minute, we losing people. I'm not for this part. I want y'all to come back. So Miss Bell everybody going to bed. They said they sick of them. Yeah, we gonna let you go. Okay, we'll come back.
This is so. Oh my God, this is crazy.
Playing this at 1.75 speed. So just imagine us watching this in real time. It was so slow and so just it's cringy.
No, y'all believe he ain't talked to Cynthia? Y'all believe that?
Yeah, I know he did. Jock, you got to get out there and say something because they're gonna hang me.
And let me tell you something, y'all. He was up in there watching that. He didn't go nowhere. He just didn't come down. That's why he sent that letter. He was sitting up there watching that whole event. I guarantee he was up there watching, or he was close by.
He was watching.
For him to say all this,
yeah,
to say all this, what he said, he didn't just go home and watch that on TV.
Ms. Moran said he just exhausted, but finish it. Listen, I'm a servant of the people. I'm a real servant. I ain't no C. Ray Lewis kind of servant.
And I think the truth is going to play out very soon. You're going to see all of this unwrapped before you, and you'll see what really went on with this. And I don't think you're going to like it. I don't mean this room. I mean people at home. I think you're going to see what this was. So let's move off of that into.
Well, what is he saying it was? More accusations with no actual evidence.
Like I said, if that was a black man, and I'm not taking it back. If that was a black man and all of this took place like it did, them going after Miss Bernardo, the whole 9 yards, it would have never happened. It would have never happened.
They thought they had a duck.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. And they didn't think nobody was going to come to her rescue. That's what it was. That's what he does. To doing that to women. Believe it or not, if he did that to Miss Angie Bernardo, he's used to doing that to women. This whole thing that he did, this is something he's used to doing. When somebody don't agree with him or he can't bend them like he can do Cynthia, he does this. He does this. She's not the only woman that he'll do this to. Anybody who disagrees with him and don't want to give him a yes, I promise you, he's done this before.
To something positive.
Because that was a black woman that she might have came off like she was scared or whatever, and that's what he took advantage of. He looks for your weakest link. I mean, he looks for the weakness in you, and that's what he goes after.
A lot of times he miscalculates, and he miscalculated this one, and now this issue with Gator has taken out 3 council members, about to take him out, about to get Cynthia. They like, how much time she got left, because anything over 18 months you can be recalled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anything over 18 months you can get recalled, and they're already doing it to the governor. I don't know why people think that shit can't happen locally. I know people have tried it before, but they didn't do it the way we would have done it. They just lifted it from our blueprint and fucked it all up. But no, she's fresh on that. She's fresh on there. And to be recalled right now, and then you know how much support that would get, because people are pissed off because there's nothing. She's added nothing but a daiquiri shop and a painted basketball court to District 3 in 5 years.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
She's giving away. Money she's giving away.
Mm-hmm. Miss Colson said, yeah, that's why. Yeah, she, because that wasn't where she was supposed to originally get. That wasn't supposed to be something she was supposed to be. They put her there, just like Johnson got put in there for the vice president. Yeah, all of
Because
this
they wanted to do everything they could to keep Malcolm and Jules from being the vice
from
president.
getting in that position. That's right. That's exactly right.
They did, and if that meant putting Cynthia Perry up there for another year, that's what he was going to do.
Because they know they got a yes girl. They got a yes
president.
girl sitting there.
So he just used Cynthia again, which that should have never happened.
Yeah.
You got 2 new members of the council. Why are we still using the same old president from the last council? Oh, she's really effective at shutting people down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 Mm-hmm.
Civic gravitas, a sense of dignity and pride and unity. I didn't list all the things in that SWOT analysis. Dr. Lewis, you and I know one, and that one is we don't have a great sense of self and promoting ourselves and getting behind it. I called it a lack of congealment or convergence.
No,
and we need that desperately. And you could take every project that we don't agree on, which this exercise we had hoped to avoid, and just pick out 5 you agree on. And imagine if we all worked on those 5 things without stop. It'd be so easy to identify 5 and work on them without stop. And then everybody could check the box. But it's an election year. And I wish I could say it was only because it was an election year, but you see it year after year.
No, we don't. You didn't do any of this last year, nor did you do any of this the year before.
That's right. Sure didn't.
It's an election year. That's why you're doing it.
Yeah.
Folks don't want you to congeal and converge and get together. Some folks want you to fight because that's where they make their part of this, in the fight. So we have to balance, how much do I say? A good friend of mine in the media called me Monday, and she expressed that she did not like my veto message. She understood it. She thought it was right, but she said, you tried so hard to not do this. You sounded like a lawyer. I read your first paragraph and got mad at you.
Oh, Jock, you watched us last night. You were one of the 800.
No, he didn't. No. He said somebody.
I went through the letter line by line, and I picked out all the parts. We went through it together.
Tavares, you're not listening. He said a lady in the news called him and said she went through it.
Who?
And told him and commented on what she saw.
He doesn't have any friends at KLAB.
Tavares, that doesn't mean Tavares.
So is it KLAX? He's got a female friend at KLAX.
Tavares, stop. You know Jock been around long enough. Okay. Come on now.
I'm asking because his reach
is not limited
for fabricating backstories.
Yes, I know, and I get you. I get you on that. I really do. I get you on that. But do not underestimate him. Don't.
Like I said, he's known for fabricating. Just like 30 minutes ago, he lied about the post about somebody saying something about Johnny Downs. Nobody said that. It's not even on the post. He made that up. He makes up backstories so he can get his point across.
So now he's selfless. Yeah, that's right, Miss Colson. Yeah,
I reread it about 10 times and I got mad at me. Listen, some things have to be legal, and you do them thinking it's time to tell the story. It needs to be clear, and then you realize there's multiple.
Yeah. Did you tell a story about you interfering in putting people in place with Gator, starting with Lizzie Felter writing that scathing letter and telling people that Bernardo wasn't qualified? Is that where you want to start at? We can start there because we know you did that.
Called it. Whenever he never gives names because that's when you know he's lying.
Mm-hmm. That's true. I'll go with that too.
Because you got to remember the personnel that's in the news right now locally, right? There's not a lot of females that are on the news right now, and definitely none that he's friends with on KLAB or KLAX or any, because KLAX and CBS KLAB and CBS are the same now. So who did he talk to? Unless it was that racist lady that got moved out of KLAB.
Mm-hmm. Could have been her. Mm-hmm.
And so there's a thing called economy of the message, and the economy of the message you can say in 2 paragraphs. So I appreciate what this person told me. The person has since now sort of changed and has a different view, but the truth is I get it. I accept the criticism, and I want the council to know that the message.
No, you don't.
No, you
No,
don't.
you don't.
No, you
No, you
don't.
don't. Stop lying.
Was
You
not
can't stand criticism.
I'm still making typos. Going to put the okay.
She got to
all
put her
members of the
glasses
council,
on.
nor was it directed at all commissioners of Gator.
He listened to the show last night. He listened to it. I'm not even excited about that part. It was what if you didn't hear what we were saying last night about that little bullshit ass hate letter to Gator, you wouldn't be saying what you're saying right now, because I brought up every single last one of those points. What's up, Jock? At least leave a comment. You know what I mean? Become a part of the community since you want to, you know what I'm saying? Leave a comment so we can put it on the screen and we can say, look, everybody, Jock isn't well, we're still going to say you are what you are, but.
In fact, the real direction is that lots of other folks who neither serve on the council nor Gator, but who are promoting what's going on. And I think if you think it was about you, if you're not sure, it wasn't. Folks know, and there are some threats.
You heard that little devil laugh? You heard that little devil laugh he did?
He scared himself.
Direction is that lots of other folks who neither serve on the council nor Gator, but who are promoting what's going on. And I think if you think it was about you, if you're not sure, it wasn't. Folks know, and there are some threats that have been going on, and it started with some threats with you, Ms. Corley, and it hasn't stopped. And not all of you know this. Some of it is has never been published, but there's some. These are not okay things. There's a line between robust free speech and even I'm gonna get you unelected free speech and threatening people.
Wait a minute. Wait. Who threatened him? What? I mean, wait a minute.
So who are you talking about?
Who said?
There's some. These
He
are not
named
okay
somebody,
things.
but I don't know the
between
name.
robust free speech. Some direction is that lots of other folks who neither serve on the council nor Gator, but who are promoting what's going on. And I think if you think it was about you, if you're not sure, it wasn't. Folks know, and there are some threats that have been going on, and it started with some threats with you, Ms. Corley.
Miss Corley.
Miss Farley. Who's Miss Farley? Who is Miss Farley?
I don't know.
Who the
I
hell
don't
is
even know
that?
who the hell that is. What are you talking about?
So who threatened?
Who the fuck is Farley?
We don't even know who he's talking about.
And it hasn't stopped. And not all of you know this. Some of it is has never been published, but there's some. These are not okay things. There's a line.
So the guy that's over the chief of police for the city of Alexandria witnessed somebody get threatened with physical harm and chose not to do anything.
Yeah. Oh, okay. He said Corley. Well, who? Wait. Okay. So Miss Bell, who's Corley? Who's that? Yeah. Who is Corley? I don't know no Corley.
Sort of changed and has a different view, but she said you tried so hard to not do this. You sounded like a lawyer. Sort of changed and has a different view, but the truth is, I get it. I accept the criticism, and I want the council to know that the message was not directed at all members of the council, nor was it directed at all commissioners of Gator.
It was only directed at the black ones.
Yeah.
In fact, the real direction is that lots of other folks who neither serve on the council nor Gator, but who are promoting.
So you wrote a letter about people that aren't even involved.
Let me see. She said, I don't know. That's what I thought he said. Yeah. Tavares,
if you think it was about you, if you're not sure, it wasn't.
Kind of going too fast.
Folks know, and there are some threats that have been going on, and it started with some threats with you, Miss Corley, and it hasn't.
Who?
So who the hell is Miss Corley?
Well, you know the audience is going to do they're going to do their due, and we're going to find out.
Stopped, and not all of you know this. Some of it is has never been published, but there's some. These are not.
That's regular speed. I can't listen to them on regular speed. I gotta. Yeah, you gotta.
Well, yeah, you can
not
speed
okay
up.
Things. There's a line between robust free speech and even I'm gonna get you unelected free speech and threatening people. And so I want everybody to remember that records are important to make, and that's some of what we do. I am always caught in this catch-22. The more I say, like today.
What position does she have? where somebody would actually threaten her.
Well, yeah, like we're part of.
Yeah, yeah.
We don't even know her.
She did. Oh, he did say Corley, whoever she is. Yeah. Well, Miss Goldsby says she works for the city, but what position does she work in? You know? Do you know the position? Because I'm trying to figure out what would be the reason for somebody to threaten her, having anything to do with this situation.
Right.
Or you're doing it too. If you're saying Gate is doing it, now you're doing it. So that's a hard balance. But to me, at minimum, the council proceeding should be a place of record. I'm not saying you swear in people at the mic. I'm saying it's a place of record, meaning if you're going to present something as officials, it ought to be true. I'm not talking about whether Mr. White can take the mic and say his opinion on free speech, military, police. Doesn't have to be making a record there. He can say what's in his heart, in his mind, what he believes all day. And so can anyone else for that matter. But if you're coming as an official to present to the council as an official body associated with the city of Alexandria, it ought to be truthful. You agree?
So now he's saying that Gate is lying. So,
but they're not.
I don't.
Oh, you think that's what he's saying?
Yeah.
It ought to be truthful, or at least ought to be. You intend it to be.
He's doubling down on the C. Ray Lewis thing about Ms. Bernardo lying.
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan Goen said this, and I'll end this part of it on it. Council, I mean, you're the parent, right? Data is created by state legislation and authorized you and you alone to spring it into existence or not. And you alone can deal with that. I have done every good faith effort I can make from the time I came back into office to work with them. And every turn I'm accused of just bald-faced untruths. And you guys know it and the staff knows it. I think Dr. Lewis has probably learned it over time. And I don't think he always thought that.
Yeah, you see how he moving around?
And I think he always thought that.
Mm-hmm.
So that does mean that C. Ray Lewis was a plan.
Yep. That's what he just said. Unless we hearing it wrong. Ever since he came in there. No, you came in there to do exactly what you did. Get Greg Upton in there, make Lizzie Felcher write that letter saying Bernardo wasn't qualified when Mr. Moeller got sick. You did everything. You did everything you could in your power to do what you did. To usurp her. Just like you did with ACEN, just like you did with the housing authority. You did it. You're right. You did everything. It wasn't in no good faith. Yeah, it was good faith for you. Yeah.
Oh,
you know what you're doing.
So I don't know why they would threaten Corley, and whatever Corley's going through, I pray her strength in the Lord. Whatever.
Dr. Lewis and I weren't. He was not singing our praises for sure, but people look at evidence, look at things, and have different opinions. This thing with Gate has got to get better. It's just got to get better. And if that means that other institutions need to take a hard look, then they need to. But we're happy to show what we've done in this regard. And the threats and the accusations that are false, because it's a political year, we're going to have to set some of those records straight. All right.
Hold up. Stop. We've been saying this way before this was a political year. So stop it. No, it wasn't said. We caught you in what you were doing to Gator.
You just mad because people listening now. Yeah. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
You just mad because people listening now.
Mm-hmm.
And we showing the facts. We're not just talking. And how C. Ray go from working for Gator to working for you?
Yeah.
So
directly for you.
Yep. So he could have been a plan from the get-go.
Not much longer, Miss Bell. We trying.
I know. We sorry. We keep running off.
So I want you to think about how this corridor can help us get through this unhealthy self-deprecation, Dr. Lewis, that we've talked about. I will announce that I have asked Dr. Lewis to be the civil chair, the non-elected, non-in-city government. He is not paid, despite what anyone says, to be on the community side of bringing people together in this reignite. And so he has agreed to do that. And so I would just tell all of you that
So is there a contract or is there not a contract? Or is he a volunteer?
He said he volunteered. He said he volunteered.
It's some shit he just made up. It's some shit. When I pointed out the fact, when Mr. Porter pointed out the fact that he cannot do business on behalf of the city of Alexandria, nor can he make any agreements or anything else, make it official. on behalf of the city of Alexandria, he came back to Jock. Jock had to give him the title. Hey man, they're calling me a side piece out here. Tell them I'm your girl. Tell them I'm your main girl. Come on, Daddy. Tell them I'm the top dollar. You better let these other hoes know.
We have to work through this unhealthy self. You think of self-deprecation like you make fun of yourself and you're not. That's okay. I do a lot of it about my weight. But there's a funny version of that. And then there's a community that downs itself every day, all day. And then there's a Lafayette that doesn't do that all day. There's a Pineville that doesn't do that all day. We've got to get all about the business of highlighting all the great things we have here.
We got to do that. We got to do that because we don't want nobody to know all the dirty shit that's going on. Yeah, we don't want people to know all the dirty shit that's going on. We don't want to talk about Restore. We don't want to talk about the data breach. We don't want to talk about none of that other dirty, dark shit. We want to sweep all that under the rug. We don't want to talk about how I backed Reddix and he still lost. We want to talk about that. We need to talk about the water sprinklers at the dog parks.
And we've got to change that now, because what you say about yourselves, that's what other people see and read. Then they're not going to want to be here. And I want you to think of this past weekend and how much happened that was great, that we could be working on.
Well, listen, if what we're saying is ineffective, you shouldn't have had you should have had you shouldn't have, if what we said is effective, then it should have been a lot less people at your FET, right?
That's right. That's right. You shouldn't have had such a great FET.
Shouldn't have had such a great FET. So which one is it?
Yeah.
Do you want to keep people from saying bad things, or are you just lying about it all?
Together. So that's where we are on the projects that involve Reignite. Our first big step will be for you to come to the mall and join us in pinning the tail on the donkey, if you will, saying what you think. You'll have a different opportunity to click those areas. That's probably not a good metaphor, pin the tail on the donkey. So in a lot of these charrettes, we would have,
because you're the donkey.
You said it right. You said it right.
You the damn donkey.
You're an ass.
Different areas, and you can go put a sticker, a different color that rates where you are, and that's what I mean by that. There will be that. Okay, good. Then I'm still the metaphor wasn't real good, but we hope that people will come out and do that. And you don't look, anything you say is fine. You can say, I mean, if you want to come to tell us the project's stupid, you can. But I would really hope that people come with the idea,
I will.
This is what I want to see there. Here are the experiences I want. Okay.
In the food court. Come in the food court entrance.
Food court entrance.
And let me say something. He said something earlier real quick, y'all. I'm sorry. She said, can we say rehab? You so stupid, Miss Bell. Okay. I want you to keep in mind, he said this doesn't happen in Pineville. You know why it doesn't happen in Pineville? Because Pineville, in their city council meetings, they have a portion where you can talk. They actually let people talk.
Pineville also doesn't do business, doesn't rely on the Alexandria Chamber of Commerce either.
Yeah, but
they got their own. They're so effective that they got their own chambers.
They actually have their own chamber. That's right. They sure do. They don't
work that much with them.
No, they don't. They have their own chamber. Yes, that's right. They sure do. Okay. I don't know what that's about.
Nat, this is my screenshot for tonight. This will be on the next show. Copy and close.
She said if he didn't get a clue today about the flooding in his city while talking all this nonsense, he will forever be clueless. I don't think he's clueless. I think it's not, he doesn't care. I think his whole purpose is to run these business people that he's talking about. That's what he's concentrating on. Those bonds that he wants to do this reignite, that's what he's concentrating on. He doesn't really, it's not even, if you look at how he talks, it's not really about the people. It's not. The people are useful enough for him to get what he needs out of them. Other than that, Jock doesn't care. And that's why he shouldn't deserve another 4 years, because he's really not concerned about the people. He really isn't. Because you never hear him literally talk directly about the people. If you listen to majority of his rhetoric, he doesn't really talk about, he talks about the city, and you can tell which parts of the city he's talking about. He never, if you listen to his conversation, he never talks like most mayors do about their city. He avoids saying certain things on purpose because he doesn't want to make the other people upset. So he only talks about certain parts of the city. It's never all of us together. Only time it's convenient for all of us to be together is when it's time for elections or when he wants y'all to vote on something or they need y'all vote for something. Other than that, Jock doesn't really care. He really don't. She said, but I meant divine intervention about getting a clue today. Oh, to get, oh, yeah, that's right. You're right. The weather. Yeah. If you listen to how he talks, Jock is not about the city as a whole. He talks about the businesses. Majority of his conversation is about the businesses. And when he talks recreation, he's not talking about recreations at Cheatham Park and places like that. He doesn't talk like that. And I mean, we've been listening to him for years. It's about the business people and old money. You're correct, Miss Bell. That's exactly what he gears a lot of his conversation toward. It has nothing to do with us. It has nothing to do with y'all. Nothing at all. And that's what y'all have to realize. You need somebody in there that includes you and not excludes you. That people sit down and say, hey, let's talk about what you need. Let's list off the stuff that you need in your community right now. Because anything else doesn't matter to him. He wants to make sure that he got a council that's going to definitely agree with what he wants and what he does, because he doesn't care about anything else. That's why the conversations he had them with Lizzie Felter. He has them with Fowler, and he has them with Villard. He has different conversations with them than he do anybody else. And he knows he does. And he doesn't understand. No, I ain't gonna say he don't understand, but he tells on himself all the time. And they tell on him all the time. All the time he tells it. The conversations he's having behind closed doors. And now, every now and then, to make Cynthia feel important and make Gary Johnson feel important, he might add him in every now and then. But he don't tell them everything, because it's not meant for him to tell them everything. Because he need to keep them as clueless as he keeps everybody else. He trickles down and tells them what he wants them to know. Other than that, those in-depth conversations go with Fowler, Lizzie, and I call her Lizzie Karen. Karen and Villard. They don't go with everybody else. I'm telling you, they don't. You can tell he has different conversations with them.
Yeah, y'all. I'm not gonna do this to y'all.
Realize.
I'm not gonna do this to y'all. We're not gonna
You don't have to keep it up. You don't have to. You can. I'm sorry I took all this time. I just want y'all to get a clear understanding of why this has to take place and why we have to educate you guys on this. We're not trying to be negative all the time. We're just trying to get y'all to understand what you're dealing with in a mayor. And you have a right to know what you're dealing with in a mayor. This mayor has never thought about y'all. Never.
What Miss Renee said, she said, we need to get buses in here in every neighborhood to get everyone of color who is registered to vote to these polls. And my question is, are we, because I was thinking about asking that question a while back, but is that illegal, or is it like a certain amount of miles, that you could drive? I don't know, like, how does that go?
okay, so the ruling with that is
Is
anybody
that not one of the stipulations,
no
to voting, like
so
on voting day or
got
something?
church
Or
events.
is it okay for you to bring people
Yes, you
to?
can do it, but the churches do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Churches used to do it. I don't know if they still do it, but the churches used to take people to the polls. So I don't know, because I haven't been involved in churches, so I don't know if they still
Okay.
do it. But there was a time when they would take their vans and take people to the polls.
Okay. Okay.
They did it when Fullerton was running. Remember? Because I remember Reddix making a big deal about it. So they were doing it
You know
back
what?
then. So
Listen, Reddix went and got them people funeral home limo and was taking people to the polls and try to get people.
that's right. Yes, that's what it was. It was a limo. Sure
Yeah,
did. He
he
did.
got
Yeah,
his
that
last
that
election,
funeral home limo.
when he lost his last election, he had the nerve to be bringing people to the polls in limousines from funeral homes.
Yeah,
so
sure did.
That on that,
Sure did.
guys. Listen, this wasn't supposed to happen like this. This is our normal night. We did come on last night. I do have a really busy day tomorrow. So we will see you guys Friday, and we'll finish this up, and we'll have more to talk about. Because this isn't over. Jock has got himself into some shit, and he needs Gator help to get him out. But he's already crossed Gator so many times wrong that he can't even ask for their help. He has to kind of trick him into it or force him into it, or, and all these things that he thought would work did not work. So again, when Reddix lost his, because elections have consequences. So when Jules and Malcolm got in there, that switched the tide over on the Gator end, and it's been a thorn in his side ever since. And I believe it all focuses in on Stephen McGee being the chairman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because brother Steve said, "I'm not going. We not going." That's the bottom line. And we don't care about any other projects. We want to develop our own projects. We don't need Curtis, a former chairman. We don't need Curtis to come up with some rinky-dink ass ideas to help the city blow our money.
Yeah, basically.
We want to determine how much money we put in, where it goes. That's what Gator's for. So, that being said, folks, it's been lovely. We'll be back Friday. It's been late. Yeah, we hitting the 4-hour mark. No, we don't do this. Although this will have a lot of ratings tomorrow and a lot of views. We normally don't do 4 hours, but I'm glad we did it tonight. So.
Good night, you guys. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Colson. Thank you, Miss Dixon. Thank you, Miss Bell. Thank you, Miss Goldsby. Thank you, Miss Shamir. Thank you. Who else did I see on here? Did I see?
Brother Kevin was up there.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. I didn't see those names because I was like, most of the time I wasn't even on here. I apologize. I was doing something else.
We got Miss Bell, we got Miss White, we got Miss White.
Thank you, Miss Tarleton.
We got Miss Dixon, we got Miss Wade. We got a lot of people tonight.
Yeah, Mr. Brown. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Thank you, Miss Kelly.
For a little while. I think.
Yeah, Mr. Turner. Thank you.
Shoot.
Who else we have here?
Hey, if any of y'all changes,
did I say his name right? Battles? Huh?
If any of y'all see some, Brother Greg, if any of y'all see some dramatic changes in y'all utility bills, please let us know. Yeah, because I'm ready to kick this class action shit off.
And Miss, how do you say her name? Nishka? How do you say that?
Oh no, that's Adrian.
Oh, that's Adrian.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry, Miss Adrian, because I don't know her by that name. That's why.
No, because she's watching us from YouTube.
Oh, yeah, but she takes my class. So yeah. That's why.
No, not Adrian, not her. We talking about Honore. Hodges Honore.
Oh, that's Miss Honore. Okay, Miss Honore. I'm sorry, sweetie. I'm sorry. I got it now. Okay, gotcha. Okay. All right. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you, Shamir. Thank you. I wish Mr. Porter was here.
He's gonna watch it. He's gonna watch it.
Yay. Good night.
Good night, y'all.
All their heroes have been white. They make you bow down to George Washington as your hero. Did they ever tell you that Hokie owned slaves? Did he ever tell you that? Yeah. Not only did he own slaves, he sold a black woman for a barrel of molasses, and he's supposed to be our hero. Our hero. Yeah.
They'll get a person who's willing to sell everybody out, who's black. And they were like, okay, we see this Negro. He's going to be useful. Let's get him, and we'll get him to run around talking about black on black crime and black folks don't need reparations. We'll get him to be our mouthpiece. And after the damage is done, we're going to destroy his career. Because they understand a tool like that can't be trusted. If he'll sell his own people out, why would I bring him in my house? That's the thing that black folks don't understand.
That's game.
There has never been a retirement plan for coons. Yeah.